Yo, and we back, baby. And we are back. What's good? 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 We back, baby. What's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yo, I'm your man, Uncle Freezie. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. It's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. Hey, so let me do this thing right off the jump.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Yo, it makes no sense how much I miss y'all. It makes no sense. Man, when I said this, when I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do is take a break. Like I play for the Knicks. I'm gonna take a break. And what I'll do is break along with the Knicks. You know, because doing a live stream twice a day is taxing. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I'll take a break along with the Knicks. And then like the next day, I was like, yo, man, I miss Andrew College. You know what I'm saying? I miss my half brother, Chris Chain. I miss Kane Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Already. It was like one day. After one day, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, I miss Delano Steele. You know what I'm saying? I miss Pudge Nice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I miss the new Knicks. Really, really, really miss the new Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Man, it was crazy. SJ3. Yo, what's good? You know what I mean? Like, I legit miss L. Jordan. I missed saying MIG. Mig was good. I miss saying that after like one day. And I started to jump back on. I started to be like, no, never mind, man. I'm gonna come back. But then I had to, had to get some rest in. You know what I'm saying? Had to get some rest in. Right? Had to get some rest in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, salute Robert Paul, All Future Gaming. Yo, 0.5. Yo, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about, right? So we have yo, Anthony D, what's good? Anthony D, what's good? Anthony D, I need your help with something. And yes, I'm openly recruiting. I need your help with something. Yo, salute to my bro. Sin Miz is in the building. So party people. How do I say this? Me and Sin Miz do a joint together. Yo, so Sin Miz and myself, we do a joint together, right? So I started doing a joint last year by myself, like just doing like this lifestyle joint. And I ain't get ready to get into all the details and particulars of that. Because the most important thing right now is me getting back with the homies. That's the most important thing right now. But I do want to say this, right? I do want to say this. So me and Sin Miz was just like chopping it up about, oh wow. And the pun is intended or not intended, but it works there. Yo, look at Jamie Peralta's in the building early this morning. Yo, and yo, Chop Low, I see you. Chop Low is in the building. Right? Anyways, getting back to the joint with me and Samir. So I have this channel called Chop It Up Lifestyle and other stuff, right? Where I get on there and I talk about um culture stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about culture stuff, like belief systems, right? I'm a Christian. I believe in God, man. I try to do stuff by the Bible, right? Others in a respectful way, they like, hey, Uncle Freezie, we respect your belief system, but we believe in something different. And so I don't bash them or bash their belief system. I'm like, hey, that's interesting. I heard about it. Let's talk about it. I'm also on this thing. I'm trying to go vegan. I keep talking about that with Simi. So me and Simi is talking about all these wide ranging things. Like we just got together on just like here, and then we was like, yo, why don't we just take it to the joint? So we took it to the joint, and I like it. We took it to the joint, and it's dope. Oh, don't tell me. No. Look at this. Simba Singh is in the building. Yo, and for those that don't know, Sing means lion. Y'all didn't know that, right? Y'all didn't know that. Sing means lion. So shout out to my main man, Simba Singh. Shout out to my main man's Simba Singh. Simba Singh got my back, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Simba Singh has my back. We don't always agree on topics and stuff, but in terms of me being comfortable enough to do my thing, it's because of people like Simba Singh who have my back. Simba Singh is like that 7 foot tall bouncer outside the club. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, Uncle Freezie said such and such, and it ain't gonna happen here. Simba Singh says, welcome back. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Seems like I've been gone for a month, right? It's only been a week. Joe Curry was good. Was good. Pudge Nice was the dopest avatar ever. Says eating better would change your life for the better. Hey man, I know this, and I'm working on it. Manny Ramos was good. Was good. Joe Curry in the building. So anyway, me and Sin Miz do this joint. You know what? I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then I'm gonna move ahead to this Knicks talk because I've been piling up Knicks talk for like, bro, I've been piling it up. I have so much stuff that I want to talk to y'all about. Right? I have so much stuff that I want to talk about. That is crazy. It is crazy how much stuff. Hey, Sin Miz, you okay with me sharing it, right? You okay with me sharing it, right? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go back here to this. There it is. All right, y'all bear with me. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat because I do want y'all to check out Sin Miz and I talked about. I think it's so dope. Right? I'm gonna put it in the chat just real quick and then we're gonna move on. Right. All right. So enough of that. Enough of that. Right. Yo, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Right? Let me ask the question. Our future gaming, what's good? Drip more. What's good? Drippy, what's good? Drippy, you better holler back. Drip, you better holler back. I'm gonna shut it down if you don't holler back. Allah Wise is in the building. What's good? So have y'all been satisfied with the Knicks stuff that y'all been hearing all week? Drip is like, we back, baby, we back. Yes, we are back, baby, we back. And like Stephen Fox tells y'all all the time, yo, this is y'all's joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like, when Foxy first came to me, Foxy was like, yo, so what are you trying to do, man? You yelling at these people, you shouting out everybody, you know what I'm saying? You don't agree with nothing the mainstream people say. What you trying to prove here? And I'm like, yo, I'm a part of the people. This is the people's joint. And I know everybody say this is the people joint, blah, blah, blah. This is the people joint this for the fans, you know. No shade at nobody else, but we legit, I opened this thing up. Thing up since day one. Since day one, we open up, man, and you know, and this has been y'all's joint. You know, since day one, right? Yo, look at this. Since you wanted to leave, they sent nah. You talk about you wanted to leave. Come on, man. This ain't even about that. Come on, man. Hey, okay. Thank you, babes. Thank you. All right. Yo, it's dope having a support system in your life. Miss Mocha is like 50% of this joint. Look what she just bought me, y'all. Some coffee. Right? Lily Phillips is in the building. Yeah, we back. Took a little break. You know, we was doing it every day. Right? Doing it every day, twice a day. And took a break with the Knicks. And now we back. So you know what that means? That means the Knicks are back also. Right? Right? Hey, Miss Mocha, they saying salute in the chat. She said, hey, y'all. Yeah, hey, Miss Mocha's like, hey, y'all. Yo, definitely, Drip. Definitely. I appreciate y'all. She appreciate that too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this. Have y'all been satisfied with like the Knicks stuff? I have not been, and I'll tell you why. And I'm not a hater, right? Because I think people put out dope content, right? I think others put out dope content, right? But what I also believe is that sometimes the fear factor drives us to say some things that we think we believe in our heart, but it's out of fear, right? Hey, so Anthony D says next to every successful man is a Miss Mocha. That is for certain, right? That is for certain. So I listen to all the shows, right? You know what I'm saying, on this downtime. I'll, recharging my batteries, listening to, others. They put on great stuff, man. They legit do great content, right? I'm not hating on them. As a matter of fact, I wish everybody much success, right? But what I will say is this though. I think we have a group think thing going on, right? Like if you legit think outside of the Knicks box, people get nervous to be around you or associate with you because you don't engage in groupthink. Anthony D, I don't engage in groupthink, right? Right. I don't necessarily, march by the beat of my own drum, but I don't engage in groupthink, right? I think groupthink is lazy and dangerous to me. And I'll get to why I say groupthink and all that stuff. Right. Right. I'll tell you why groupthink is lazy and dangerous. I'm not blaming anybody. So content creators, if you watching, don't be offended by what I'm saying. I offend people all the time accidentally. And so just count it up as being clumsy and not intentional. Right. So yeah, herd mentality. Right. 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 So here's the thing. At some point in every organization, there's going to be a trend that's set, right? There's going to be a trend that is set, right? For some, when the trend is set, they consider it an anomaly because it doesn't happen over and 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 over, right? Ismail Reed, this was good. Was good. So Ismail Rivas says, "Hey Freezie, you're back. How's the vacation, Uncle Freezie? I heard you were in Cancun." Right. All right. In the Cancun, no. Maybe some recliner. Yes. And I ain't even gonna lie to you. And I'm gonna get back to the trend thing, but I ain't even gonna lie to you. A lot of it was just not on air stuff, but a lot of working behind the scenes. So even though I wasn't doing a live stream, I was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, trying to make sure that we get a lot of things tightened up. The thing that I gave the most thought to, and in that brief downtime, was the Lawrence Tears debate league, and how I can incentivize it more. And so I have a plan for that, and I'm gonna do an official rollout. Like I'm gonna do an official rollout of it, and put it on the community page, right? So even though we weren't doing a live stream, we were legit working on other stuff. Like we, shot some more episodes of Knicks versus. Then I'm working on editing. Did some. Okay. So yeah, so I'm working on a few things in order to make the Lawrence Tears channel more dope as we go along and along. You know what I'm saying? Give you more bang for your buck for those that tune in and all that stuff. Boy, Trey was good. Was good. Was good. So yeah, so the trend thing, right? So the Knicks legit won 17 games, right? They won 21 games. And right now, I think we're at 19 and 18. I think we're at 19 and 18 at right after the All-Star break, or right in the All-Star break, right? And so what happened? So in my view, we are in a buck the trend situation. Yeah, 19 and 18. 19 and 18, 5 games, 5.5 games out of the top spot in the East, right? So my thing is I think we're bucking a trend. And if you ever looked at, say, a graph, like when something goes down for so long, they go down, 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 down. And then there's a point of demarcation, right? Where things go up, right? So there's like this V there, right? Yo, professional outfits was good. Was good, right? So there's this point where things stop going down and they start to go back up, right? If y'all can picture what it is that I'm trying to present to y'all, right? So we've hit that. 21 wins is a place that we'll never be again. Now, I say won't. Well, I won't say never, but the likelihood of us going through the dark ages, so to speak, that we've gone through the last 5 years are over. Excuse me, it's over, right? That time is over. In my mind, it's over. Yo, look at me. Check me out. This is Uncle Freezie talking to you. I'm talking to you, right? This is Uncle Freezie talking to you. And I want you to hear me clearly. The dark ages, those years of us being subpar everything, bad roster, bad record, bad coach, bad front office, all of it at the same time, it's over, right? But groupthink will have you to believe that you should be patient. Hold on. Wait a minute. We're not out of the dungeon just yet. You know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it might be a train. All these things. And I ain't throwing no shade at nobody. Right? I ain't throwing shade at nobody because there's a lot of people that think that way. Right? They're like, oh, look at the second half schedule. The second half schedule is tough. Dude, listen to me. Listen to Uncle Freezie. I'm talking to y'all. It's just us here, right? Just us here, right? Look. Listen to Uncle Freezie. I'm telling you, it's over. It's over. If you're a Knicks fan and you've been a Knicks fan for, say, the past 10 years, you've been through this weird up and down roller coaster, right? You've been through this weird up and down roller coaster, right? And I'm here to tell you that ride is over. It's over, right? Right. I'm here to tell you it's over. Hey, Prince, what's good? Lex, what's good? Yeah, it's over. YouTube watcher, good to see you, bro. What's good? Right. I'm here to tell you it's over. Right. And it's not because I hadn't been with y'all in a week or so and I want to say something different than everybody else. No, it's not. That's not it. I'm here to tell you what I believe is the truth through my eyes. The truth according to Uncle Freeze and what I see. All this mess is over. All this Cole Aldridge trying to tip offensive rebounds to herself and tipping the ball in the basket for the other team, it's over with. All the Maurice Endower putting back the game winning basket in a game we're clearly trying to tank. If Maurice Endower doesn't shoot that shot, we possibly get Carl Anthony Towns, or still get Porzingis, but trade down to get Porzingis and acquire more draft capital. You know, all of this. Who's going to be the next point guard? Torrey Murray. Who's going to be the next point guard? Langston Galloway, Alexei Sped. All of this. Who's going to be, the next? Who's going to be the shooting guard of the future? We hadn't had a good shooting guard since Allen Houston. We ran through guys like Aaron Aflalo. I know y'all loved Aaron Aflalo. That's a joke, by the way. No, y'all love some Courtney Lee. I liked Courtney Lee, right? I liked Courtney Lee, but not Courtney Lee was not a game changer for us. You know what I'm saying? All of this, all of the Kevin Seraphins, the Jason Smiths, the Derek Williams, the Henry Ellensons. You remember Henry Ellenson? The dude had one good game as a Knick, and we gave him a nickname. King Henry, King Henry, King Henry. Y'all remember that? All that's over. It's over, man. All of that is over with. So when people tell you to be negative, when they tell you to continue the negativity hype train, listen, man, just tell them, hey, this is my stop right here. Y'all go ahead on. Y'all go on down the road. It's over. All the negative stuff, all that negative stuff, man, it's over. You know what I'm saying? All that hey, Felipe 210, what's good? What's good, Felipe 210? Oh, that was 2017. Okay. I know it was one of them years. And sometimes I get this stuff. You know how it is. Bad memories tend to cobble themselves together. My mistake. Hey, thanks for the correction too, bro. But yeah, y'all remember um um what's the kid we signed as an undrafted free agent out of NC State? CJ Leslie. Remember we were like, oh, CJ Leslie might be a sneaky project, man. We can play him at the two. Yeah, remember that? No, that didn't quite work. Yeah, remember the Jeremy Tylers? Yeah, remember him? Oh man, with that athleticism, all he had to do was just have the drive to be something. I'm telling you, all of that is over. All of that is over. It's over, y'all. We moving on. We are something different. We are not losers anymore. Right? We are not losers anymore. Okay? I want to reiterate this because I've heard the negative reinforcement all week, and I couldn't get to y'all to say, you know what I'm saying, man, y'all keep your heads up. Keep your head up, man. As a Knicks fan, I'm telling you, today is a different day. Right? Today is a different day. Yo, Clee Anthony Early. Remember the Clee Anthony Earlys? Remember the Andy Rollins? I'm telling y'all, it's a different day. Remember the Josh Harrelsons? The kid, big kid out of Florida, the big country kid out of Florida that could shoot the three but could do nothing else. I'm here to tell y'all that those days are over. But a lot of people want to continue the negativity hype train. And I'm not, in fairness to the Knicks fans I love, I ain't about to keep y'all on no negativity hype train. We ain't about to do that. Not me. Kenneth Hatcher, what's good? I ain't about to do that with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know why? And here's my proof. Because y'all think I'm just sitting here talking, right? Y'all think, oh man, he just want to talk about something different. No, man. I want to talk about something that's real. Okay. And here's my body of proof. Here's the evidence I need to make a strong case. Okay. Here's my evidence. There was a time that we were rotating Kevin Seraphin, Jason Smith, Cole Aldridge, right? And now that issue has been solved, at least for different reasons. We've solved that issue for different reasons, right? So we have a Mitchell Robinson, right? And bear with me, because your feelings on Mitchell Robinson may differ from mine, but what I'm here to tell you is, don't look at outside stuff. Look at stuff on the court. Yo, Raphael, what's good? What's good, Raphael? I'm telling y'all to look at things on the court. You remember when so we had this kid Luke Cornett in the G League, right? We had a Jason Smith, a Cole Aldridge, a Kevin Seraphin, a Quincy AC, um, who else? Isaiah, what's his name? Y'all know that the kid Isaiah we had in the G League, the kid from North Carolina. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. Somebody tell me Isaiah's last name. Isaiah. Yo, Dominic, what's good? What's good? Hey, y'all. I hope all is well. Hey, Isaiah, let me finish up this real quick, man. I ain't got no problems. I ain't got no problems with that. As long as I said Isaiah, I'm sorry, Dominic. I'm sorry, Dominic. Let me finish up this real quick, and we'll do our thing. Yo, Quincy AC overseas doing good. What's the Isaiah Hicks? That's his name. Y'all remember Isaiah Hicks? We had Luke Cornett and Isaiah Hicks on two-way deals. Y'all remember that? Right, right, right. But now we have center and power forward locked down. Right? So the negativity, the dark days are over. Jason was good. Yo, for the people out there, sing means lion. Shout out to my man Jay Singh. Jay Singh was good. Yeah, yeah. Isaiah Hicks. Y'all remember? Yeah, y'all remember Isaiah Hicks. Y'all remember he was a big body dude that could do just a little of everything, but wasn't good at nothing. He was just good enough to be in some type of league, in some type of basketball league, but wasn't good at nothing. Right? so I'm here to tell y'all that the dark days are over. Right? Y'all remember when we were searching for a shooting guard? The Aaron Aflalos, the Courtney Lees, the Alexei Shved, whatever position he played, point, shooting guard, small forward. Yeah, I remember. Do y'all remember the Sasha Vucevic? That's his name. Y'all remember Vucevic? Y'all remember Sasha Vucevic? Y'all remember Sasha Vucevic? I think that's his name. Played with Phil Jackson in Triangle in LA, right? And they brought him to New York. Really? Now you have a shooting guard of the future in RJ Barrett, right? You have a shooting guard of the future in RJ Barrett. Okay. Make sure, hey, oh yo, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button for the live stream. Help support the channel. Help get us in front of more people, right? Because what we want to do is we want to spread the love. Yo, look who walked in the door. It's the Bodega Warfare. What's good? Bodega, what's good? Miss you, bro. What's good? What's good? What's good? So we had all those problems back in the day. We couldn't figure it out, right? Even up to say 2 or 3 years ago, when we had a three-man rotation at point guard. We had a Trey Burke. We had an Emmanuel Mudiay. We had a Frank Ntilikina. And even if you don't like the current starter, you have to like the rotation at the point guard position, right? Aaron, hey, Alec Burks is a new version of Aaron Aflalo. That's hilarious. I never even thought about that, but you know what? Bam. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Lily Phillips, spot on. Y'all remember? You remember Willie Hernan, Guillermo Hernan Gomez? They call him Billy or Willie or whatever they call him. Yeah, yeah, y'all remember that? Yo, and so over 80% of the players you named grace the floor with Carmelo. Now that's how you support a star, huh? Shaking my head, bro. The negativity train is over, right? Because now you have so much support for your guy, and we need more support. We need more roster upgrades, right? We need more roster upgrades. But now we have a former league MVP coming off the bench, right? And he was here one time, and he wanted to come back here. That lets you know that we have made an uptick in stock. We are no longer the 17-win team. 17 wins in 82 games. Or the other team, the other team, 21 wins and 66 games or something. I can't remember, but anyway. Right? We are different. Right? And so I had been watching all week on a lot of a wide variety of shows and people I respect and love what it is that they do. Right? Love what it is that they do. But their opinions on this team, in my view, is because they have a fear factor that they can't level with. Right? And people will say, man, who you calling scared, Uncle Freezie? Say it to my face. Whatever. I don't do like the scary thoughts. I don't pass along the fear factor. I don't look to shock the audience. What I look to do is listen to what y'all have to say, formulate my own opinion, and then share it. Y'all do the same. Y'all do the absolute same. You know how I know? Because I read the chat. I read the chat. I read the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I see y'all's opinions and I value them. So much so that I'll think about them as I go walk the dog. I'll think to myself like, man, Chris Chang said such and such and such, right? Otherwise said such and such and such, right? So I think about what it is that y'all say. Yo, Decius Thomas was good. Was good. Decius Thomas. What's happening? Yeah, hey, let me ask y'all this. Y'all remember when all of our positions were um um up for the taking? Y'all remember Mario Hazonia? Mario Hazonia would not even have made this team out of training camp. Y'all remember the Noah Vonlehs? Noah Vonleh would not have made this team out of training camp. Okay? Noah Vonleh would not have made this team, even with us needing bodies, right? He would not have made this team out of training camp. That's why I'm telling y'all. Yeah, yes, and man, do you remember Pablo Prigioni? These dudes would not have made this team out of training camp, right? I'm just here to tell you that this mindset that we're in right now, this group think that we're in right now, is tragic. Like people legit look at the schedule, and the first thing they think is doom and gloom. The first thing they think about is we don't belong on the same court with, and insert some Western Conference team. Just a Western Conference team. Just throw one out there, and they'll say we don't deserve to be on the same court with them. Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, right? Right now the Denver Nuggets are 21-15. The Denver Nuggets are 21-15, right? And people will say we don't belong on the same court with them. They have the All Star and a couple good young players. Guess what? We have an All Star, right? And we have a couple good young players, right? So how do they get the benefit of the doubt? And we should even show up. We should just mail it in. How? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody in the chat explain that to me, right? So Bodega Wi-Fi says Vonleh was cut before All-Star break to make room for Blake Griffin. I bet you Vonleh was like, oh man, I thought I was gonna get a ring. Right. Okay. And I'm not picking on Noah Vonleh because I'm not an NBA player. I'm not athletic enough, not young enough. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm saying, you know, Noah Vonleh wouldn't make a roster, at the same time, it does take a lot to make a roster. So what I'm saying is people are gonna feed you or have been feeding you. Hey, also the Nets cut Robertson and Shumpert too. Oh wow. Wow. So here's the thing. The reason why I'm telling y'all about the negativity around the Knicks, it should just go away, right? People are saying like the Knicks second half schedule is so tough that the Knicks may only win 6 games out of the next 30 such and such. Get out of here. Get out of here. Killjoys. Enjoy the moment. Get out of here, y'all killjoys. Enjoy the moment. The Knicks are 19-18. after the All-Star break. And y'all are like, the Knicks, they play, man, I don't want to hear that. Right? I don't want to hear that, man. Y'all saying, oh, the NBA screwed the Knicks. Man, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it. These games have to be played by both teams. These games have to be played by both teams. Insinuating that the Knicks shouldn't even show up because other teams are better. What kind of joke concept is that? What kind of y'all ever faced that? East Stallings, you ever faced adversity? You ever faced adversity, and then when adversity, when it was time for the moment of truth, did you just lay down? No, I know East Stallings. I know East Stallings. You know what I'm saying? I know when adversity come, he don't just lay down. You know what I'm saying? And don't expect our team to do that. Right? Kevin Middleton, what's good? What I'm saying is I'm not hating on Knicks content creators. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as Knicks fans, we should be smart enough, passionate enough, have enough foresight to understand that the game of basketball has to be played. It's not played on paper. Exactly, East Starling. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, East Starling. You know what I'm saying? When adversity comes, you never lay down. When things get hard, you never lay down, and you never advise others to do so, or get in that group thing where when times get tough, it's best to just roll over and play dead and hope things go away. And at the end of it, you'll get a high shiny draft pick. Nah, we don't. No, we don't do that. We don't do that here. 19 comment NYC 84 was good. Was good. That's Raphael's favorite um chatter. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise says that's why cars got backs, gotta play your hand. Right, exactly. Exactly. Let's get out of this mindset where we feel like all hope is lost. All hope is not lost. Right? At one point, our ship did not have a rudder. Right? At one point, our ship did not have a rudder. But we ain't on that ship no more. We ain't on that ship. Other teams, other franchises envy us. We have an all-star. We have good young players. We have draft picks and cap space. Teams envy the Knicks. How about that as a novel concept? As opposed to being a laughing stock, teams envy us. Right? Teams wish they had an all-star and good young players. You think the Detroit Pistons wouldn't want to be where we are right now? And I know some people are like, well, who are they? Hey, man, they're a team that wants to win just like us. Right? Sin Miz is such a troll. Sin Miz is such a troll. Talking about we got our savior in Frank Ntilikina. And I'm gonna touch on that in a few minutes. I'm gonna touch on some stuff, including our young players, in a few minutes. I'll just bear with me. I just want to get some of this stuff out of my system, before we get into the heavy stuff, like how much we gonna beat the Bucks by tonight, right? So, what do y'all think? Am I on an island alone? Am I on positivity island by myself? Am I on positivity island by myself? Or or do I have people with me? Right? I'm not trying to form groupthink. What I'm saying is I just like to have individuals think for themselves. Right? Just have individuals think for themselves. I saw a guy that I trust look at the um, second half schedule and legit was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. And they pointed to a 6 game, um, the 6 game road trip out west. I feel you, right? But I'm not feeling you. I feel you, but no, I'm not feeling you. I understand where you're coming from, but that's a bridge too far for me, right? Because I feel like when one team has a road jersey and the other team has an away jersey, they all still have jerseys and they all come to play, right? These guys want to win just as much as the other team. And I already know people are going to say, well, such a team, man, they have more talent and we playing them at home. Man, I don't care. So what? So what? We beat the Utah Jazz this year. We beat the Milwaukee Bucks this year. What's more impressive than that? What's more, we beat the Indiana Pacers this year. You know? I mean, come on. Come on. We can't be super negative all the time. He said every situation is situational. Yeah, Derrick Rose not playing tonight. He's the COVID protocol, and I'm starting to believe that's something serious. And I don't want to get into a speculation type thing, but I'm here to tell you if D Rose got COVID, and I'm not saying he does, I hope he does not have COVID. But if he does, he's going to feel the effects of that for a very long time. Right? People that do, like the people that I know that have unfortunately had it, took them months to get right. Months to get, not days, not hours, months to get right. Right? So Gideon says the Knicks should beat the Rockets, and I think we can beat the Grizz in that road trip. So Kevin Middleton co-signs what I said. 42-30 when it's all said and done. Not just said, but said and done. So Pudge Night says, I think D Rose is just resting. We'll need him for the playoffs. Yeah, we will. We will need him for the playoffs. MSG is being extra cautious because they want more fans in the arena. I don't blame them either. I don't blame them. So we play Milwaukee tonight. We're in Milwaukee, right? I think I saw something. I think I saw something where the Knicks are in. We're in Milwaukee doing some type of shoot around or something. It was exciting. LOL, Frank is good with me. He comes to play and takes pride in his defense. Gotta love that. So I did this joint with I did the Knicks freestyle with Free Keith and the Ghetto Intellect, right? And one of the topics I think we talked about before we could before we got or while we were working on some stuff was the Knicks needing shooting. Right. So I just threw the link out there in the chat for everybody. I'm sorry about being blustery, coming in like a cold winter wind. I just want to just put some stuff out there, man. Just before just put some thoughts out there, or whatever. So I asked them straight up, like, okay, you say the Knicks need to make a move. What do the Knicks need to acquire in order to upgrade the team? And one of the first things that was said was the Knicks need more shooting. And so I'm asking, do the Knicks need more shooting or making more efficiently? Like, do the Knicks need more shooters, more scorers, more guys coming in that can shoot the three? Or do we just need to be more efficient in the shots that we take? Send me his love some Frank Ntilikina, man. Love some Frank Ntilikina. Right. I was a Franker when we drafted him, but Frank seemed to me to develop so slowly. I just didn't have the patience. You know what I mean? It's like a president saying, "In my second term, I'm gonna, dude. How about do something in your first term? How about do something in your first term?" Yo, look who it is. What's up, boss?
What's up? What's up, Uncle Freezie?
How you doing, man?
Good.
Good. Um, um. So I was just about to. Let me see. Hey, Dominic, what's good?
Oh, Dominic.
What's up, man?
What's good? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm a big Knicks fan.
Same
Big Knicks
here.
fan. I'm so excited for this game against the Bucks today. It's gonna be a hard task, but I think we can get the dub tonight. What do you think?
I think we will. It's going to be a close game, in my opinion, though. Because remember, Milwaukee is going to come out with a little bit more fire. And we also need to understand this, though. We also struggle in Milwaukee lifetime, so we have to consider all these things. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think we'll win. And by the way, if we win tonight, we go 2 games above 500. That's our high. That's ties our second highest for the season.
That's true. By the way, Uncle Freezie, I've been with another person on his streams to talk Knicks basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Ron Cleveland, aka Man, it's the Knicks.
Right.
But,
In terms of being nervous about the second half schedule, right?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm feeling pretty good about the second half of the schedule.
Right. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So Ron Cleveland that is my man's 50 grand, right? That's my man 50 grand, right? But sometimes everybody's not gonna agree all the time. Like G Money and myself might not agree on everything, right? Dominic and I may not agree on everything. And to
True.
me, it doesn't make, what I'm saying, it doesn't make Dom or myself not be smart or not be relevant in the moment. It just means we disagree, right? And so what I'm saying is this: I'm not looking at names on paper. I like our matchups on the court. Okay, like forget all this list of names and dates and all that stuff. What I want to see is our best 5 against their best 5 on the floor. That's what I want to see. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So G Money.
Yep.
I think I know where you want to go with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this though before you get there. So just for the record, the Knicks are 5 games out of first place in the East.
Yeah, but I'm not going to entertain that. So let's not entertain that. I know Philadelphia.
Nah, man.
Let's not entertain.
It's a fact. It's a
I know
fact.
it's a fact. I know that, but I'm just saying I'm not going to entertain that. I don't see us catching the first seed unless. Look, the only way that actually happens is if Philly loses and beat Simmons for a long period of time, and also if we finish the season hot. But I don't see it. I
Wait a
say,
minute. Wait a minute. Are they out right now?
yeah, they're out right now because Simmons and
Ah,
Embiid
okay.
contact tracing, so they won't
Right.
play against Chicago tonight. And even heck, Doc Rivers might not even coach tonight.
Bro, I'm okay. So I'm telling you that the Knicks are 5 games out of first place.
Uh huh.
And the team that is in first place is leaking oil. And you're telling me that we don't have a shot to catch them.
Unless the Sixers get injuries or something, or contact tracing or something like that, yes, we don't have a shot catching Philly. Look, I'm a true Knicks fan, but I gotta be honest, okay? Look, I know you have your mindset about the schedule, but at the same time, I'm not gonna act like we're playing bums in the second half of the schedule. I'm not gonna act like that because it's like I can't ignore that we're playing Toronto twice, LA Lakers twice. We got to fly to Staples Center for a Clipper game. We got to have Boston twice. I mean, Milwaukee on the road twice. Denver on the road. Memphis. I can't just act like we're playing garbage teams.
The only
Look,
team out of that group that you mentioned that beat us, and I mean beat us, was
Denver.
Denver.
They
Denver.
destroyed us. Yeah.
Right. But we blew out Milwaukee.
Okay.
We blew out Boston. Right.
Okay.
The
Uh,
Lakers have an Anthony Davis and LeBron James injury issue.
LeBron's
Right.
gonna be playing by April 12th. I'm positive. AD, who knows when he's coming back, but LeBron's gonna play by April 12th.
Right.
I'm pretty positive.
So
Unless somehow contact tracing happens, because unless something like that happens, I think we'll.
hey, your mic went out.
Sorry, because my sister was talking to me a little bit. Sorry for that. I apologize.
No.
So I say we win around 36 to 37 games. I gotta be honest though. I would love to say 40 plus wins, but again, I know you have your mindset about the schedule, but I look at the schedule of this. I'm not saying a team is unbeatable. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, I'm not going to pretend that we're playing a bunch of garbage teams because we're not. Okay, March is not too bad because we got Washington twice, Minnesota, Orlando. But April and May, really more Aprilish, it gets hectic. We got to be honest. Look at the amount. Look at the schedule and be honest, man. Look, we have Chicago. They're fighting for a playoff spot. Boston and Boston. LA
Who has
in
a
New
better
York.
record right now, us or Boston?
Boston.
Boston, you sure? Let me check. Let me
I'm
double check.
positive. Boston's 1917. They won 4 in a row. We're 1918.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And
You're right.
Boston's in Brooklyn, by the way, tonight on TNT.
Right. Right.
I got.
Man.
Hmm?
So what I'm saying is to you is this: how do we always project the best version of other teams, but rarely project the best version of ourselves?
Hmm.
Anthony D is in the building. What's good?
Good morning, Uncle Freezie. G
Good to
Money.
see you.
What's up? How you doing?
All right. Freezie,
Yo.
I'm going to tell you how excited I am to see you back this morning. I had you on the small screen at first,
Right.
and it took me like 30 seconds, and I threw you on the big screen, right? Now I got you on 2 screens.
Wow.
Absolutely. Welcome back, my brother. Welcome back. Now,
It is good to be back.
let's cut the pleasantries and let's get right to it. I have not looked at the Knicks schedule all year.
I would.
No. Why? For me, why? The same teams we played in the first half are the same teams we're gonna play in the second half.
Okay, but let's use logic. Boston twice, Chicago, Charlotte twice, Clippers in Staples Center, Lakers twice. We're playing the Suns twice. We're playing the Bucks on the road twice. So yeah.
So it sounds like G Money needs a dog, right? G Money, you want me to buy you a dog? You know the old
No.
saying: if you scared, get a dog. You want me to buy you mail one to your house?
No, didn't I just say we're
Okay.
gonna make the playoffs? I still think we will make the playoffs, but I'm not gonna talk nonsense saying we're gonna win 42 games. No, that's nonsense. I say like 36, 37 wins because it's like again, you also have to understand that some of these teams that we're playing up against are gonna play for something too. We gotta be honest, though. We really gotta be honest. Let's
So you're saying you're projecting the best versions of them, but not projecting the best version of us.
I mean, here's what I'm saying. I think we could get a few upset wins. Here's what I believe. I think we can get a game in Milwaukee. That's my guess. We can win one of these 2 games in Milwaukee. I think we can beat Miami at home. That's my guess. I think we could beat Philly in the Garden because, that's what I believe. I think we could win a game or 2 against Toronto, but at the same time, I don't see us, unless the Lakers or Clippers are resting players, I don't see us winning in LA. I gotta be very honest, though. And also, and look, Denver, I know the Nuggets are not that good, but you have to consider this. We have not won a game there since 2006. You have to consider that, though. So,
are we playing the 2006 Nuggets this year?
No.
Okay,
What I'm saying is that we have not won a game there since 2006. I can't just pretend it didn't happen. We can't just pretend it didn't happen. So what I'm saying is that, look, and all I'm saying is this. I do think we will make the postseason, but at the same time, unless we make a trade or something, I don't know how we're gonna keep a top 4 or 5
G Money, you can't use caveats. I mean, you can use caveats, but what I'm saying is in a definitive argument, to use a caveat means that the definitive argument has holes in it. That's why you use a caveat, right? So here's the thing. Here's my issue with what you say, and I'm not trying to cut you off because I want you to chop it up. I legit want you to get in your bag, right? Okay. But what I'm saying is this, right? Mm-hmm. Those teams that you just mentioned, the Toronto Raptors, could not even get into offense against the Knicks when we played them in Florida. They couldn't even get into their offense. Thibodeau's defense was smothering.
Okay, and we shot 3 of 30 from threes. What's the point? We should.
But hear me out on it. Hear me out on it. They could not get into offense, right?
All right.
And this is legit. You watched the game. You saw them try different. They couldn't get it. As a matter of fact, they used Norman Powell as a facilitator at some points, getting Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet off the ball because they could not get into offense, right? And how they got those 3-pointers that you mentioned?
3 for 30. No, we were 3 for 30. We missed 20 straight threes for a span.
Oh yeah, that's right. But so hit me out with the Raptors game, right?
Okay.
So how they got offense in that game is missed shots, and they beat us to the ball on certain offensive rebounds and got wide open looks from 3 and scrambles. That is not a game plan. You can't say, hey, we're going to throw up a brick and then scramble and hope we get an open look from 3 on offensive rebounds. That's not a game plan. That's how they beat us. That is how they beat us on wide open threes. That Chris Boucher beat Mitchell Robinson to a rebound and kicked it out to a Fred VanVleet that was wide open because players are getting back on defense or rebounded and left the guy wide open continuously throughout the game. You can't. That's not sustainable offense. So what I'm gonna say is, if we bring a similar game plan to the rest of these Toronto Raptors games, I think we can beat them both games. The Miami Heat that you mentioned?
No, we'll beat Miami at home. I think we can beat Miami at home this time.
No, we have the Miami Heat's number. We lost on the game when RJ Barrett missed a layup at the buzzer.
And don't forget, Randall took a bad fadeaway baseline jump shot. We were down by 1, so don't sleep on that.
No. I'm with you. I was going, and then in the other game
in New York.
And in the other game that we played them, they legit, their center got to the free throw line 16 times.
The 16 times was in Miami, by the way. That was in Miami.
Oh, so Bam Adebayo got made 13 of 16 free throws. And guess how many fouls he had called on him?
I'm gonna put up a guess. 2?
0.
Wow.
0.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And Jimmy Butler in that same game, Jimmy Butler shrugged at Julius Randle like, "What you want me to do? I can't turn down the whistle." He legit shrugged at Julius Randle. They called it on depending on which telecast you were watching. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the Miami Heat broadcast, right? He was like, "Hey, what you want me? You want me to turn down these foul calls? I mean, she giving them to me. You know what I'm saying? So if things balance themselves, what I'm saying is if things balance themselves out, I like our chances in any game versus any team on any night on any court, right?
Facts. Let me ask you two this question. Do you think this team, as presently constituted, has played its best basketball?
The Knicks right now, you could make a case, not yet, no.
Okay, that's my point. We need to take one game at a time. We're looking at several games, where we're playing, what happened before. I could easily say we blew out Boston by 35 points on their home court. That means nothing. That was then. This is now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Tibbs right now has us playing together. Our defense can also get better. We're also not.
I'll be right back. I'm listening. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Our defense can also get better. You see what I'm saying? And plus, we don't know if we're gonna add a piece or two to help this journey. To go back a little bit, what you was talking about earlier, Freezie, and other, guys or podcasts or whatever being scared, they're projecting their phobias from previous seasons.
Right.
And they can't look at it as like we're gaining momentum, gaining steam. Right. You know what I mean? Like, this is a whole new regime.
Right.
We don't need to think negatively on what happened before. I don't want to move a piece. I don't want to trade this guy for that guy because that trade didn't work out. So what?
So what?
You don't want to be, and I heard I heard a couple of people say this before in other couple of podcasts. I don't want to be the Celtics. I don't want to have a bunch of draft picks that I did nothing with it, that I could name at least 10 significant trades that they could have made to help them move forward with some of their young pieces after they legitimately got Tatum and saw that Tatum was a rising star and is a star and did nothing with it.
And did nothing.
Because why? They whatever their general manager Danny Ainge thinks, he was trying to think he could fleece another team or whatever. Like, that's you're neutral. You're not going anywhere. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Like the days. Like, I like how you mentioned how certain things were over. One of the things that I've hated over these last 10 years that I remember vividly is LeBron James and his Miami team doing spin the bottle.
Right.
That was back in 2016. Yeah. Yep. That was an ESPN game. I think they were blowing this up by 20 plus, and they were doing a bottle challenge. Yeah.
Right.
We didn't have a player on our team that was of that ilk that would have took a technical and thrown the ball over there.
Right.
And broke that up.
Right.
And let them know, even though we're not where we want to be right now, we're not going to stand for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the players that they have and the mindset, I believe that the coach is bringing together, that's not going to happen, even in a bad loss, because what? This is the NBA. You
Right.
can get a bad loss on your court.
Right.
No, I agree.
You-
Yeah,
Right. To any team, on any night.
yeah.
Yes, any team on any night. So me not looking at the schedules and things of that nature, because I'm taking it one game at a time,
Right.
one victory at a time. You understand what I'm saying? One
No,
piece in
no,
the
I see where you're coming from. You have a good point, but at the same time, let's not act if we're playing a bunch of garbage teams. Because here's the thing: some of those teams I just mentioned did not play their best basketball yet. So think about that. Boston is now starting to turn around. I mean, LA has started to slump a little bit. Same thing, the Lakers and Clippers. So you're saying that we haven't played our best basketball yet. Neither of those teams. So what are we talking about here?
I disagree. I think the Lakers have played their best basketball.
No, that doesn't make
Yeah.
logical sense. No, that doesn't make
Yeah,
logical sense. The Lakers are three seed.
that
No, it
does.
does not. They're three seed. Think about this. The
Wait, wait,
Lakers.
wait. Okay, so they're a 3 seed and they haven't played their best basketball yet. How do you play your worst basketball and become a three seed in this West?
Okay, but they were like they lost like what 7-9 or something like that. They're struggling too. So what are we what are we saying?
So what you're saying is you're taking snippets to develop a full argument. So let's do one or the other. If it's just snippets, let's just do the snippets part. So the Lakers are on a losing streak, and it's because of injury, right? So let's just say, in this little stitch of time, the Lakers are not playing their best basketball because they have their best player out hurt.
Then
Right?
you may have a point, but if what happens if they are playing the basketball? It's if. So what happens if they are? So
Right,
that
because their best player is out injured. But at the same time, if you use that stitch of time and say they're playing, with their worst basketball of the season right now, what were they playing before that if they're the 3 seed in the West?
okay, you look at here's the thing. The Lakers weren't supposed to be they're not bad, but let's not act if you thought they'll only be a 3 seed. You thought it'd be a 1 or 2 seed at the max, okay? Look, the Lakers are a good team, but you have to understand they also lack rebounding too, which we have to be honest, they like rebounding. And also, like I said, injuries and stuff. What I'm saying is that they have not played their best basketball for their standards. If we're just being honest, okay. So all I'm saying is this: you're saying that. Look, I'm not saying we're garbage. The Knicks are a good team, but at the same time, I got to be honest with what I'm saying. We have struggled against top teams in the league. I'm not gonna pretend that didn't happen. We're a good team, but I'm not gonna pretend that we played great against the top level teams. Because at the same time you don't know where those teams are going to be at by those parts of the season. So that's what I'm saying. Boston's not played their best basketball until now. So what happens if they start rolling by the time we meet them? Same thing with Toronto. You got to consider all this stuff. You're looking at, we beat these guys, but some of these teams we beat were not playing well at the time. So at the same time, again, I do think we will make the playoffs, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend that the rest of the teams we're playing are a bunch of nobodies. There are some good teams we're playing. I do think we can beat teams like Washington, Minnesota, Detroit, teams like that. But I have a feeling we're going to be in a battle with some of the top level teams because you also have to understand we're not a great outside shooting team. You have to consider this stuff. Unless we make a trade in the deadline, we're going to need we're going to need a small forward, and we're going to either need a backup center to help on the well because we don't know when Mitch is coming back, or we're going to need a shooter. Because here's the thing: in a close game, who's going to be our go-to guy in a close game? It's going to be Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett. Like if we play Boston, it's going to be Jason Tatum. If we play the LA Lakers, it's going to be LeBron James. If we play the Clippers, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard. So that's what I'm saying. So all I'm
So
saying
you're
is that,
saying in a close game they're going to give the ball to their all star,
for the most part, yes.
and so you're asking me if the Knicks have an all star that they can give the ball to.
Wait, what?
So you're asking me if the Knicks have an all star that they can give the ball to in a close
I'm
game.
I mean, they could, but here's the thing: it's Julius Randle's a good player, but is he a go-to guy that can get it done to close game? That's what I'm asking you.
But G-Man, and what I'm asking you is have you seen Julius Randle in that moment in these close games in high leverage games to say he's
Consistent,
not a go to
consistently,
guy? You've never seen
consistently.
that. You've never seen that before.
No, I
Have
never.
have you seen Julius Randle on a team with a winning record that is looking to make a playoff push with him as the guy? Have you seen that before? No, you have not.
Uh-huh.
So before we say he can't do it, can we at least allow my man some time to at least try?
All right. Okay. Fine. You may have a point there. You may have a point. Okay. I'll give you that point. What I'm saying is, again, any team could be beaten a given night, but we can also get beaten a given night too. So that's my
Right.
point. And like I said, I'm not gonna pretend that we're playing garbage teams. I listen. I know. Yes, we gotta take one game at a time, but at the same time, we also have to be honest. We're not gonna win every game. Let's be honest. We're
No,
not gonna win every
nobody is.
game.
Nobody
But
is.
but what I'm saying is this: I do think we will make the playoffs. I'm not saying we won't. I do think we will get in. I think we'll sneak in. But what I'm saying is that you have to consider Miami, Toronto, Boston. Some of these teams are going to play better when the second half of the season comes. And you also have to consider that Charlotte also has a very easy schedule in the second half of the season. So I'm saying that we gotta look these things in the context. Yes, any team can win in a given night. But at the same time, not every game is always going to be unpredictable. So that's what I'm saying.
So who's Charlotte's best player?
I think it's LaMelo. I'm pretty sure it's LaMelo Ball.
So you're saying a rookie is going to lead a team to the playoffs?
I mean, they have an easy schedule. I think they can. I think they will. To be honest,
So
yes.
so a rookie is going to lead that team to the playoffs. I just want to understand what we're talking about.
I mean, Gordon Hayward too is bowled out of his mind. I mean, Gordon Hayward has had an all-star type season for them. So I know.
Right.
So those are things we have to consider. And Terry Rozier, I heard New York might get Terry Rozier, assuming they keep him. He's hit big shots for them too. And
Right.
Malik Monk is bowled out for Charlotte too, and PG Washington. Look, the Hornets have an easy schedule. I'm positive with that team they can take advantage and they'll make the playoffs. But for us, I do think we will get in. I think we have enough talent, have enough depth to make sure we can make the playoffs. I'm just saying is that I don't see us staying at a top 4 or 5 seed. I don't, because it's like Miami's not starting to be in a rhythm. Boston's not starting to be in a rhythm. Toronto's not starting to. I mean, Toronto's kind of floundered as of late, but when they get healthy, they're gonna find themselves. So, and that's what I'm saying. I just got to be honest, man. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys can look you guys can think what you want about the schedule. I think what I want about the schedule because I gotta be honest about what I'm seeing. We play great against the horrible teams, but against the top level teams, we struggle. Yes, we beat Utah. Yes, we beat Milwaukee and Boston. But at the same time,
And Golden State.
and Golden State. But even at the same time, the Warriors are not in the playoffs too. So we also got to be honest about that. So what I'm saying is that when we play teams like the Suns twice, the Lakers, Clippers, Celtics, when they get healthy, teams like that, it's going to be a tough stretch. I do think we could pull a few upset wins. I do think that. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie and say we're going to win 42 games. No way. 36 games, 37 wins, 38 wins, probably. 42 wins, no. Let's be honest, all right? If the Knicks win 42 games, I'll come in this stream and I'll come in this chance and say, hey, I was wrong. But if they don't, then I'll be like, I told you so. So let's just be
Right.
honest.
So let me say this real quick to your point. Right. So I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons games played, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. And so the Detroit Pistons, to me, are the worst team in the league. And I don't think record is a true indicator of who's the worst team in the league. What I'm saying is I think the Detroit Pistons are the worst team in the NBA. Right. Over Minnesota. And I say Minnesota is not the worst team because they have a better roster. They just have poor performance.
They just have no direction. The Wolves,
Yeah.
the problem with Minnesota, D'Angelo Russell's injury prone. So is Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony
Right.
Edwards has been up and down all year. They just, ironically, when the Knicks beat the Wolves, they fired Ryan Saunders. You know what I mean? So they just don't have a direction.
Right. And so the reason why I bring up the Pistons is those Toronto Raptors that you mentioned, they lost to the Detroit Pistons.
You do have a point.
Right. The Orlando Magic that you mentioned, they lost.
No, we're going to beat the
Detroit
Magic.
Pistons.
Listen, we're going to beat the Magic.
The Boston Celtics that you mentioned, that you said that are correcting the ship or whatever, they lost to the Detroit Pistons.
Twice.
Hey, man,
you do have a point. You did lose to them twice.
The Brooklyn Nets, guess what? Were blown out by the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Lakers that you mentioned, right? The Los Angeles Lakers that you mentioned, guess what?
What?
They were blown out by the Detroit Pistons. And here's the cherry on top, right? The cherry on top. The Philadelphia 76ers that you mentioned, guess who they lost to?
Detroit.
The Detroit Pistons. So you telling me all these teams that you mentioned, that are going to give the Knicks a hard time, lost to what I deem is the worst team in the league.
Okay, and we lost to Orlando. We lost to Sacramento.
But you're saying that because we play them, we don't have a shot.
I didn't say we didn't have a shot.
I just want to be clear.
We have a shot. I'm just saying that we're not going to beat. I'm just saying we're not going to win every game, and I'm just saying that it won't be as easy as you guys make it out to seem to be. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying,
but it shouldn't be easy,
right?
You see, it should not be easy when you're gaining momentum, when you're building a team for success. You're gonna have to go through some bumps in the road,
right?
You see what I'm saying? That's how you test your mettle, your internal fortitude. This is where we're going. This is where we're going one step at a time, and you're gonna take something from a loss, just like you would take something from a win.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I saw. You remember a couple of years ago when the Rockets were playing Golden State and they lost C3, right?
Yes.
And in their final game 7,
27 straight threes. I know.
Up 16 points in the
15. That was 15 in the second quarter.
Okay,
15.
Either way.
But in the fourth quarter, they were up 16 points.
No, they were not up double digits in the fourth quarter. No, not in Game 7. No.
I'm not gonna argue it, but from what I remember, they were up, and then they shot, like, they missed 27 threes, and they were a great outside shooting team.
Right.
And why they lost? Because once their three ball could not splash, they had nothing else to go to. They didn't have a real offense besides chucking it up from the three.
Right.
You see, this is part of my point here. The Knicks need to hone in on their offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get better offensively. So when you get to that time, you're not looking to go 3 from 30, 2 out of 20 or whatever it is, because why? You have a real offense from what? From the struggles that you were putting in during the off season, during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to Anthony D's point, right? Now, so they were ice cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you were forcing dudes that are known to be spot up shooters. You were telling spot up shooters to put the ball on the floor, which is not their game. You got Ron. What's good?
Ron.
Man, hey, hold up. Welcome back, Freezie boy. Welcome back. What's up with your big timer?
It was good.
Man, hey, it's been a minute, man. Hey, it's good to see you back, man. I need that morning fix, you know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Hey, chop with them breakfast, with them links at, man. That chuck wagon breakfast, man. We need that thing, man.
We need to get Chop Low on his job. Chop Low, we need to get you on your job. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, welcome back, man. Welcome back, man. You've been missed, man. Big dog, you've been missed. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
You've been
Hey,
missed.
hey, man. And so I've been listening to everybody all week. Like legit, I'll be at the computer, like editing stuff and working on some stuff. Like I'm reformatting the Lawrence Tears Debate League. Doing some shows. Did a couple of live streams on another channel. And so I've been busy, just hadn't been open mic. Right?
Man, hey,
But
I know you probably been busy, but I gotta give my man's on the panel a shout out too, man. Shout out to the young G Money. What's going on with your fella?
What's salute?
And Anthony D, man, I've been seeing you in the live chat. It's good to see a face with the name. You heard me? Good to
Yeah,
see you,
man.
man. Good to see you.
Man. We're finally on the same panel, same screen at the same time. Ron Cleveland. That's what's up, baby.
Two thumbs up.
This is my guy, man. Hey, I tell you, man, I'm listening to you, Freezie, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna steal a line from my boy Lawrence Mabry right now. Put me in, coach. You know what I mean? Because as a ball player, I'm listening to everything y'all saying, man. You play who's on your schedule. You don't care about who they played, who they beat, none of that. The only thing we care about is when that thing tip off that we come out and bring maximum effort.
Our best five against their best five.
Exactly. If we lose, guess what? We lose. But guess what? It ain't gonna be no game where we come in and
it ain't because we scared.
Ain't no more of that, man.
It's like you remember
in your intro, man. Them days is over with, man. Front office malpractice, that's over with.
Right.
Stupids, that's over with. Right players coming in here, you can get ready for that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. It's like when back in the day, I don't know if you remember this or not, but back in the day when we had the 3A, the 4A basketball playoffs, right?
Absolutely.
And we would play somebody like Burke or James Island, right? You know what I'm saying? So we ain't seen them play all year, and they ain't seen us play all year, right? But you know how the coach exchange the tapes or whatever.
Yeah.
They meet up on 95 somewhere and exchange the tape or whatever and bring it back. You know what I'm saying? And we watch the tape, and they be like, "Man, number 52 can jump." You know what I'm saying? Man, look at 14. Number 14 can jump with that thing, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what though? Out of all the tape, they pretty colors, they band, they rocking. You know what I'm saying? They cheerleaders is pretty. You know what I'm saying? They uncles them won the state championship back in the day. When we set up, when we get to that circle, and it's time to tip it off, I don't care about none of that. Because today, you getting the best I got today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care how good y'all uniforms look, and I don't care what y'all mamas cook for y'all to eat after the game. And I don't care about how big y'all schools. I don't care nothing about that, because when that ball go up in the air, only one team can leave here as the winner. It's win or go home. And I ain't want to go home. And I know y'all ain't want to go home. So when that ball going up in the air, you're gonna get the best I got.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying about these Knicks.
I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to the draft. I don't want to talk about these young players, and no disrespect to anyone who loves them. Although I'm always killing Gmo. I'm always killing about it. Mm-hmm. You know, about things, about looking at the future guys would have been, and they could be great or they could be bust. I've lived through this.
Unproven.
You see what I'm saying? But what I haven't recently lived through right now is a way to the playoffs.
Right.
And seeing the
say that again, Anthony D. Say that again, man.
A way to the playoffs and seeing that, you know what, right now in our conference, a game here or a game there, we're right there.
And to your point,
there,
Anthony,
anybody else.
To your point, that's what we gotta. Our memory banks. We gotta readjust our memory banks. Right. We gotta throw out the trash from last year. Because this ain't the same team from last year, from top to bottom. It's not the same team. Some of the same players remain, but the whole setup is different from last year.
The coach is gone. The coach is different.
Exactly.
The front office
headache is gone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? And so you got to get that out of here, and then you got to look at the conference we're in. This is not the same Eastern Conference from last year. Yeah, a lot of these players are on these same teams, but these teams are being inconsistent as well. Look at the records between from 3 to where we're at and all the way even down to the 6th seed. If you look, like to your point, Anthony, a few games, if the Knicks would have went on a 3-game winning streak, we'd have been sitting in the 4th or 3rd spot.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So to think that these teams so high mighty and high powered, they're not.
I never said they were unbeatable. I never said they were unbeatable.
G Money, he ain't talking about you.
Freezie.
Okay.
Freezie, you bet you was in the military, just like me, right?
Cool.
When you go on the battlefield, if you go in battle thinking that you had a deficiency, you already lost. You already lost. You can't have that mindset. I'm telling you, you can't have that mindset, and that's why, and I'll say this because the thing irked me, man. When I saw that news article come out the other day, I knew you heard about it in the New York Post.
Right.
You know what I said, Freezie? I said, I'm not going to even entertain that foolishness. You know why? Because what's the benefit of something like that coming out?
Right.
All that's going to do is raise a specter. People going to start looking at people sideways. Them days of doing that, I'm not doing that, man. I'm not even going to entertain that foolishness. It could be real. It could be. It might not be real. But I'm not going to even entertain that foolishness. You know what I mean? Because all I'm on, the wave I'm on, is we are in the 5th seed. We are one of the best defense, if not the best defense, especially once Mitch get back. That's what I'm looking at. And let the chips fall where they may. Let us play this thing. Winner win, loser go home. I know one thing about the New York Knicks. When we come in your building, your points total generally come down. I know another thing about the New York Knicks. If this was March Madness, we'll be that Cinderella team that nobody wants to face because on any given night, the New York Knicks can knock you out because we play defense.
Right. And it was like, go ahead.
To your point, Ron, I'm sorry, Uncle Freezie. Was it last week or the week before, Brian Windhorst came out with one of these articles as far as a player that's going to ask about, to the Knicks and whatever. Like, we got to be tired of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We lived through that with.
You know, Anthony D, that's a little bit different from that New York Post article. And the only reason why I say that, I don't think I can remember the last time them saying a player forcing their way trying to get to New York, but it's because of the culture that we setting. You know, before when they would make articles like that, you know what they would say? The New York Knicks and their fans are thinking they're going to get this individual. But the way they're playing, the product they're putting on the court, ain't nobody going to New York. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This year that article got that laugh factor behind it, that cynical stuff behind it. You know what I mean?
But we lived through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They use us as clickbait.
Yeah.
To then laugh at us when something like that doesn't happen. We've lived through that so many times. You know, seeing props with Zion, KD, AD, Irving, this, that.
Right.
And the only reason why because why? We're New York. 2, our fan base, I'm not going to say our fan base cares more than anyone else, but our fan base is international and we're locked in on the team. Win or lose, we're locked in.
Yeah.
And we just can't take the bait. And going into the summer and the future, though, we're going to get Booker. We're going to get this guy. We're going to get, that guy's going to come. That guy. No.
Right.
Let's take
We're going to worry about what we got, man. We're going to worry about what we got.
And it's a beautiful thing.
About what we got.
Yes. And it's a beautiful thing when you think about it. You think about this. Think about this. Man, so I got to tell a story, G Money. I'm sorry. And I know G Money is like, man, don't tell us. So it ain't story time. So I visited my grandmother, right? My grandmother, I call her Gramps. Like, hey, Gramps, what's good? What's all this stuff for? She was like, baby, I'm about to put down a garden. And I was like, you about to put down a garden? You better go to the grocery store, young lady. Stop wasting your time. And she was like, boy, you so crazy. And so I was like, what you want me to do? She was like, I need for you to dig these trenches for me, and I'm going to come back behind you and put seeds in them. And I was like, you want me to do what? She said, I need for you to dig these trenches for me. And they got to be straight, right? Dig these trenches for me. And she showed me this area. She wanted me to dig it. And I was like, Gramps, that's a mile long. She's like, boy, it ain't no mile long. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, Gramps, you want me to get out here in this hot sun? She's like, no, I don't want you to do it right now. I want you to get up early in the morning, about 5:30. I'm gonna cook you breakfast, and we're gonna get out there about 6 o'clock before the sun get high in the sky, and we gonna go ahead and dig this trench. And so we go out there, man. I mess around and I go to sleep about 3 o'clock in the morning. Mess around with my cousins and uncles now from out of town. We out there, checking in John, talking about Clyde Frazier, saying, man, Clyde Frazier, the smoothest joker you ever seen in your life. Just out there, So 5:30 come. Grandpa like, hey, baby, you ready? I got breakfast on the table. And I'm like, Grandpa, I just went to sleep. She was like, but you said yesterday. I was like, oh, but I can't let Gramps down. So I get out there, man, and we dig these trenches. And I swear, it took me. You think the ground you walk on is hard? You wait till you start trying to dig a garden, right?
Well,
yeah, look who here.
Boogie.
Hey, my man's is here. So hey, salute. So I'm gonna finish up this thing real quick. Yo, I got Jay Boogie and Anthony D at the same time. Oh my God! I got both. I got the goats at the same time. So this right here just made my day. This right here legit just made my day. I could end the live stream right now because this right here just made my day, and this ain't no cap either. Because I love these brothers. Right? With all my heart. This ain't no cap. And when I say this, I hope y'all know that I'm sincere. I don't do this. I don't do the fake stuff for clicks. When I say I love both y'all brothers, I hope y'all understand where this is coming from. This is a place of sincerity. Right?
Thank you, sir.
This is a place of sincerity, right? But I'm gonna finish telling my grandma's story. So we dig the trenches and all that, and we go out and I see Grant with her little bag, and she going one by one. She got the little not the big garden hole, but the little one you hold in your hand.
Oh man.
She'd take a couple of steps and bend over and rake and get the ground just right and put the seed in there.
Oh yeah.
And cover it back up all the way down. I'm watching her. I'm like, Grant, you want me to do that? She's like, no, baby, I got it. I was like, what you want me to do? You want me to get you some water or something? And so she had this well, right? So down south. And I'm from Jersey City. I'm from New Jersey, right? But I do understand the concept of ice cold well water. Woo, right? So ever created, right? So I go get the tin cup off the well and I wash it off. And she looking at me laughing. Ah. And I, what I'm saying? And so I get her a cup of well water, I take it to her. And so she wipe her head, what I'm saying, and drink some of the well water. And she like, hey, David, this well water is so good. And I was like, oh yeah, I know it is. Right. So fast forward, a few months, whatever. I come back, I'm like, Grant, how the garden do? She's like, look out the window. And by this time, Grant had moved out of the old family house. We had in 50 something. All my uncles got together and built Grant a house because they lived in an old log house before that, right? But then they moved away to Detroit, Baltimore, DC, LA, all these places, Jersey City, where my pops and my auntie moved to. They moved out of the old log house, and since they got good job, they got their city job, they got their good job. They came back home and built Grant a house, right? The family house, right? But then the family house got a little outdated. So, what I'm saying, they went and bought her a double wide, right? And she was so proud of that double wide, man. She loved it. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So she like, oh, look out the window. I go in, double wide, so big and spacious. And I look out the kitchen, out the sink window, and I see the little garden out there. And I'm like, look at this here. Look at our garden. She's like, yeah, baby, I went out there every day and tended that garden, right? And so I'm like, hey, so when's it gonna be time for me, to go out there and eat something out the garden? She was like, baby, I got some tomatoes in the window. I look over and I see the tomatoes. They done started getting ripe, right? So she took the tomato and washed it off and sliced it, throw a little salt and pepper on it, a little teeny bit of vinegar on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, Brad, I enjoy this right here, right? So she like, yeah, and we got some okra out there. We got some cabbage, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm telling you. And so she gets some stuff out the garden and she start cooking, man. And I'm like, Grant, this is like heaven right here. And she's like, well, we ain't gonna go that far because I'm sure heaven is better than this, but it sure is good. I'm laughing, Grant, I love you, Grant. You know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, this is right. This right here. You do the hard work and do it yourself. It'll pay off. Right? And she was like, you remember when you said we shouldn't do this and we should just go to the grocery store? I was like, yeah, I remember. I was just joking. No. She was like, I wasn't. I'd rather do the hard work and grow the stuff myself. So we get our reward. So what I'm saying to you, Knicks fans.
Nice illustration.
So what I'm saying to you, Knicks fans, is you have your own garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into it. You prune it. You take care of that garden. And those R.J. Barretts that you get out of that garden, those Emmanuel Quickleys that you get out of that garden, those Frank Ntilikina's that may take a little bit longer, you get them out of that garden, and you get a better sense of, you get more out of doing it yourself as opposed to going to the store and getting you a Bradley Beal. Why are you gonna spend all of that? Now, I'm not against Bradley Beal, right? Because at some point, with the garden, you got to give some of that stuff away because you grow too much to eat for your family. You know what I'm saying? You grow too much to eat for your family, so some of that you got to give away.
Hey,
right?
Boy, you're a fool, but I like that. I knew you go in that illustration, man. Keep going,
right. Because you grow so much, you don't just feed your family, but you feed the community. Now your neighbors down the road got tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? They kill a hog. They bringing you sausage back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, and for those that don't like pork, don't just look at it as just a pork reference. Look at it as a neighborhood sharing thing. You grow so much that now you have a bounty, right?
Exactly.
But you don't go to the store and buy a bounty. You go to the store and buy just what you need, right? So as a Knicks fan, what I'm telling you is you don't have to fast forward the process. Look at your beautiful thing for what it is. You 19 and 18 after the All-Star break. For the first time in years, you have a winning record.
Since 2013.
Right. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy it. Right? Don't fast forward. Don't be looking at May. Right? So because the old man used to tell us back in the day, like take it easy, young fella. 1 foot in front of the other one. Right? What they saying is don't go out there and be reckless. Take your time. Life is precious, man. Life is short. You got to enjoy the moments. And what I'm saying to you, Knicks fans, and y'all think I'm preaching, but I'm not. What I'm saying to you is enjoy the moment. Enjoy it. Don't be thinking about June or May or some weird date. Oh, we play the Denver Nuggets, such and such. Man, we played the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. How about that?
And that's what Coach thinking about tonight. And Freezie, to add to that illustration that you just said about the gardening, you think about this because you evidently done been in the field. My granddaddy had fields, so I had to be out there with him.
Yeah.
If you're trying to plow, you can't go forward in a straight line if you're looking back. If you're looking back and you're trying to go forward, what's gonna happen when you're trying to plow? That line gonna be all kind of crooked.
Yeah, you can't even look side to side.
You know what I mean? You can't do it. So
you look side to side, your line gonna be crooked.
Exactly. We gotta throw the pass in the past, man. There's a reason why it's called the pass. And your coach even told you that when he came here. He said, I don't care what went on before I got here.
Right.
I'm giving these guys a clean slate.
Right.
So we gotta enjoy this thing, man. Some people don't want to, and I won't say some people don't want to, but what it is we've been conditioned because of all the losing. That people mindset is still thinking like the old Knicks. Some people, I ain't gonna say all, some people. But this ain't the same Knicks, and I agree with you, man. We don't need to be thinking about no draft or none of that, man. Because that stuff is not guaranteed, to Anthony's point. That stuff, them guys are unproven. There's a lot more bust than boom out of the draft, man. People better do their research while you clamoring about some draft.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's more bust than boom. So hey,
there's
let's enjoy what we got. There's
only 450 NBA players every year in totality in the league. Think about that.
Right.
Think about that. So there's going to be a draft every year. Okay.
Right.
So what happens to all of those players who didn't make the league? No one cares.
Right.
No one cares. And it happens every year because why? Only the best of the best remain on the roster.
Right. Right. Hey, fellas, this coffee. I got to deposit some coffee. I'll be right back, y'all.
Jim Boogie, what's going on with you, man? Hey, you got that look like you ready to drop some gems on us. All right, man. Hey, I'm going to listen up. You let EFF you know.
Hey, shout out to the whole network, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Freezie, man, everybody following him, you know what I'm saying? But get that respect and that honor, you know what I'm saying? You on the outside of that computer on that phone, man, hit that like button, man. Get that thing motivated all the way up, man. This is straight coffee right here we got going on. And shout out to the great one right there, the real AD, the real popular AD that I know all my life, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis over there, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to G Money and to my man. 3 big M's, 3 little A's, 3 little N's, and the N definitely comes after the K, representing this Knicks bang right here we love, man. I couldn't wait to wake up this morning. Man, you already know I've been on that road, you know what I'm saying? I got me a little rest, you know what I'm saying? While little mama, since she sleep right now, I come and support my man. He coming back off that load management, you know what I'm saying? Nobody do it like my man Freezie, you know what I'm saying? He go all day, all night with it, you know what I'm saying? So he got well-deserved rest, you know what I'm saying? But we back to business, EPMD like Nas and, you know what I'm saying? We back at it, you know what I'm saying? Starting tonight, it's going down tonight, man. I got my rifle out and hunting for some deers tonight, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying, the Greek freak. I got something to Greek off on, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we on a mission, second half. Too many doubters out there. They doubting all over again. They doubted at the beginning. Why are you still doubting now, man? Let us live our life. Let us do our thing, man. We here right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm riding with the whole situation, just like everybody else on the podcast, you know what I'm saying? This is our time, our turn right now, you know what I'm saying? Get them like buttons up again. Get them like buttons up again. Let them stay up, man. Y'all ain't pressing them enough, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, man. We on a mission in second half. We got a lot of doubters we going to prove, you know what I'm saying, that we belong where we be at. You know, I ain't trying to just make the AC. I ain't just trying to make the play-in. I'm trying to stay right here where I'm at in the middle of the pack, you know what I'm saying? Let them hate on that some more, you know what I'm saying? And I just miss my man Julius. You know, back in the days, it was a real big guy in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? He looked like he could fight, or he either could fight. I don't know if Julius can fight, but he looked like he could fight. You know what I'm saying? I need him to bring that fight game out starting tonight. Go on, beat that boy Greek up. I don't care what you got to do. Treat him like you did that boy in Indiana. Make him, you know what I'm saying, want to lay down and pat the floor and all that. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight on our hand, man. And I love the team we got, man. Everybody got this heart. I love heart. Heart always can beat skills if you want it bad enough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That defense go a long way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't think Tampa Bay was going to do what they did, but they had that heart and they had that defense to clamp down on Drew Brees, clamp down on Aaron Rodgers, clamp down on that boy Patrick Holmes. That's what we got to do right now. Clamp down on some of these teams. Y'all thinking out there in that podcast world, you know what I'm saying, thinking that we can't beat. They're a man just like we are, man. They put that uniform like we put on. But when that referee stand in the middle of that court and he lobbed that ball in the air, you know what I'm saying, for that tip, that's the time to go get it, you know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for the night. I wish I could call them guys right now and let them know we got your back, man. We start with them deers tonight, man. Put them in between our hands and like let them freeze on that, you know what I'm saying? While we on this Freezie show, you know what I'm saying? That's what's happening this morning, man. Y'all get them like buttons up, enjoy your morning, enjoy your days, man. You should be at work, you know what I'm saying? But whatever you're doing, make sure you got that pillow from your head, like Terrence once said, and put a book in it, you know what I'm saying? It's freeze time, you know what I'm saying? Right now, it's like Happy New Year right now, man. Let's get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it ain't time to go get it. Nah, I said, gimme. That's what we about to do, man. Starting tonight, man. Get them like buttons back. You ain't pressing them enough. I said, get them like buttons up. Press them up, man. And shout out to my man Freezie. Well deserved, you know what I'm saying? Low management rest, he deserves that. Now we back, man. Playtime is over, man. Everybody, I had to come rock with you this morning and give you, you know what I'm saying, your proper flowers this morning. Man, no, I'm already gonna rock with him later on. But my man AD was up here, you know what I'm saying, playing at the number 4 spot, you know what I'm saying, at the high pick. Let's pass him the rock, you know what I'm saying? I feel and love everything. That's the real AD right there, man. Shout out to me, man.
Oh man, J Boogie, man. Hey, you something else, boy. Hey, you know you just love it. When you said they're a man, just like, you know what I thought about, man? I know y'all remember Rocky 4.
Yeah.
When that Russian got cut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he a man.
That's right.
Yeah, man, just like me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout
man.
out to J Boogie,
Absolutely.
man.
Much love, y'all.
And to Jay Boogie's point, he said something that, you know, I don't think I've heard anyone in the chat over the couple of weeks mention it. When Julius went up against that big boy in Indiana, and
Sabonis.
after the game, when he was Sabonis, after the game, when he was talking to him, and he mentioned how he took that challenge and playing against him, and I was like, wow, he's really getting this. Like, he's their big guy. I'm the Knicks big guy. And I'm about to show him that, okay, even if you get this win tonight, you're gonna have to work for it. Okay. And I'm gonna give you all these buckets. Okay. And and that's a team right there. And a lot of people are not mentioning it. When that team gets healthy, if there is a team that makes me leery in the conference, it's that team.
Mm-hmm.
It's that team. That team has a lot of untapped potential, a lot of talent on that team.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they got 2 players coming back. They got 2 players. They played the whole first half.
Right.
That they got traded from the Nets, and that other boy out of Durham, North Carolina. Boy, they got some players over there, man. But like we say, you got your jersey on just like we got yours. Throw that ball up, ref. Let's say you go one.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's get it.
And the Bucks are kind of up and down at home. Like Milwaukee already lost 5 home games this year, and Milwaukee, they're a good team, but I've seen them losing to Denver by 31 at home. They lost to Toronto twice. So yeah, it's not impossible we can win in Milwaukee. I think we can win tonight, which is our best chance to win tonight, because then we got Oklahoma City, we'll win that game, and then we got Brooklyn and Philly. So if I were New York, if we can go 2-2 or even 3-1. Going into the Orlando game, we should be good.
Right.
Yeah, like the old cliche in sports, man, especially in football, what they say, any given Sunday.
Any given
Yes.
Any given Sunday.
And the thing is, I hear everybody trying to say Brooklyn is impossible for us to beat. But
no, they're not impossible. I won't go that far.
Any team that don't play defense, I love my chances against them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because your shots ain't gonna fall every night, but your defense you can't control. And if you don't play defense, you get the picture.
Right. Right. Ain't no doubt. And so the thing that I want Knicks fans to understand is it's okay to be a free thinker. It's okay for you to think on your own. It's okay for you to be isolated to your own devices. Right? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't need anybody leading us around by the nose telling us how to think and feel about being Knicks fans. Whether they on the national media or if it's one of your homeboys. You don't need nobody to tell you how to think.
Facts.
Most of y'all are smart. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all on y'all jobs, the boss trusts y'all and put jobs in your hands because he feels like or she feels like you're capable of doing the job at a high level. So y'all are smart and skilled and talented. I'm saying apply those same ways and measures to your fandom. You don't need it's not kindergarten. And it has been for so long that when we leave kindergarten, we feel like everything is kindergarten. It's not. Right? It's not. You know what I'm saying? The people have been telling me, and so I'll give you an example. So Free Keith who usually beat me up on here saying RJ Barrett play a position where shooting is in his title and he can't shoot. And I keep telling Free Keith that since the middle of January, RJ Barrett has been one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Shooting 47% from downtown, lining it up.
Right. But just because he doesn't look like Tyler Hero doesn't mean he's not more. Who else do you know? What other Knicks player have you known to shoot 47% from three for such a large stretch of time?
Maybe Steve Novak. Maybe
Allen Houston. I don't know. That's hard to even say, man.
Right. Yeah. Right. But so So, and I'm not bashing Free Keith, and it's because Free Keith's a smart dude, and I don't want him coming on here looking for retribution. Right? Because Free Keith will eat you up with facts now.
Shout out to
Free
Keith,
Keith would
man.
give,
Shout out to
yeah.
Keith.
But what I'm saying is this: since the middle of January, and it's almost the middle of March, my man has been on a tear shooting the ball. What happens is his misses though look awful, right? So we put awful looking misses. We take awful looking misses over great shot selection and makes because one is more buzzworthy than the other, right?
Sure.
And so what we say, oh man, RJ Barrett can't shoot, but the data tells us something else. The data says my man takes smarter shots, he's more efficient, and converts at a higher rate. He went in one season. Think about this. In one season, he went from shooting 18% from three to 35% from three in one season.
Wow.
Do you know how many shots you have to make in order to go from 18% to 35% in one season?
That's a lot, man.
Do you know how many shots you have to make in order to go from one extreme to the other?
Probably a whole lot.
But it speaks to him finding his game,
right,
and being more consistent and not playing to I have to jack up a bunch of threes.
Right.
Early on, if everyone noticed this, the first couple of games, Peyton was doing a lot of that.
Right.
True.
You're not a 3-point shooter. You're not a 15-foot jump shot shooter.
Right.
Your role, your game is to try and get more to the basket where you have a higher percentage because that's your game. That's where the team will be more successful if you are doing things more like that and moving the ball.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Everyone can't be Golden State. Everybody can't be Steph Curry. Everyone can't be Phoenix. Where you're shooting, you got guys that are flat out shooters. And everyone is following because Golden State started the trend a few years ago. So everyone decides, well, the Rockets did it. The Rockets doubled down on it. The Rockets actually moved a formidable center to do what? To placate their two best guys because why? They needed more shots. They needed more time in the lane. What did it get them?
Nothing.
You had a 6'7" PJ Brown trying to play center.
You meant PJ Tucker.
Right. Yeah.
PJ Tucker. Excuse me. You got PJ Tucker trying to play center against it, maybe for a minute or two, but you're not gonna survive against Joker and AD and people like that while having a guy who's undersized. Because why? You want to go more offense, you want to shoot more threes, and you want to reinvent the wheel because your coach, that's what he wants to do. He just wants to put up more threes, get twos, and feels because we got a higher percentage during the year, it's going to matriculate better as the playoffs go on. What happens?
Exactly. So Anthony D, I said this the other day because people are so enamored with that thing you talking about being offense. Tell me the last time a team that was so focused on offense won a championship. At the end of the day, it always comes back to defense, man. It always comes back to defense. You can have a team that's middle of the road offensively and win the championship if they play great defense. And I said this numerous times now. The way the New York Knicks are set up right now, my God. Hey, don't y'all know? If the front office play this thing correctly, the New York Knicks are going to be good for the next 10 years. When my grandson that's getting born this month, that's going to be born this month, he'll know what it is about the Knicks, that Knicks are playing basketball. That's how this thing is set up, man, from the way these contracts are situated, to all these draft picks, and these players that's still on their rookie contract that's coming, like RJ, quickly. Like the Freezie point, but the garden, baby. Just allow that thing to continue to grow and reap the benefits of that thing, man. And then on top of that, the way these contracts, going back to the contracts, Julius Randle got the cheapest contract for the production that he's putting out right now.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
We got him. He's an all-star.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett is on the come. He's 20 years old.
Mhm.
Emmanuel Quickly, 21 years old. You got Obi. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but he's still a young piece. You got Frank Ntilikina looking like the light done turned on for him offensively. But the contracts, and shout out to my man Hector Beaucamp, man. He brought it up. He said that at the end of the season, minus all them guys that we talking about that I just named, the New York Knicks can still have like $60 million in cap space.
Right.
Enough money for 2 max players, and don't even have to take our draft picks and send them nowhere to get nobody.
Right.
That's. I'm gonna tell you what, the front offices in the past did a lot of dumb stuff, man.
Right.
Mhm.
I gotta give them their credit for how they structured them deals that we had that fell off the books and clearing that cap space. And the biggest thing is getting rid of Mr. Gingerbread Knee, Sands in the Hourglass, KP. We would have been stuck with a bad contract right now.
And limited production.
Man, hey, I'm gonna enjoy the ride, Freezer. To your point, man. Hey, anybody who ain't a Knicks fan and trying to bring that negative talk, trying to divide us, man, I ain't even, like my uncle Rich used to say, man, don't even present that, man. Don't bring that. Take that thing someplace else, because I ain't. Right. If I want to hear negative, I turn on ESPN, one of the majors, man. But with our stuff, what we do is shout out to Uncle Freezie, man. If you ain't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that. Turn on them notifications, tap that bell, because the man gonna give you that stuff in the morning. You ain't getting no Knicks content in the morning. If you get it from the majors, they ain't even a commercial slot. You heard me? They give McDonald's more commercial time on ESPN than the Knicks. So hey, support that thing, man. But hey, we in a good spot, man. Enjoy the ride. Get your popcorn ready, like Tio say, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So G Money. What I was saying is this, and I'm not saying, and I'm not presenting myself as the counter to everything you say, because that's not it. Because I value what you bring to the table. Trust me, I do. Like when I saw you pop up in the thing just now, I was like, yo, that's G Money. Word, my man could be on. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this, and it's based on you know what you presented to me, right? What I'm saying is dog, this ride that we're on right now is unlike something that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? I know in the last at least the last 30 years, this is unlike anything that we've seen, right? And for dudes, for guys like myself that have been around for a while, you know what I'm saying? 30 years is a long time. So, and the reason why I say more than 30 years, it may be longer. When did Pat Ewing get drafted? 35 years ago, 36
What was
years
it,
ago?
85
Yeah.
85,
yeah. So we talking about almost 40 years of not seeing something like this, right? Because in prior years, we had superstars and expectations and didn't live up to expectations, right? This year, we had no expectations and is blowing that low bar away, right? Now, in prior years, we had your Hall of Fame, like we had a Carmelo Anthony, we had a Patrick Ewing, and then things didn't go right, and then we wound up 19-18 at the break, and we felt like we should have a better record. This year, we didn't have none of that. You didn't expect Julius Randle to come out and perform like he did this year.
True.
Anybody that says that, man.
Only Ralph.
Yeah, right. No, and so it was me. So me, yeah, Raphael, right. And but cats like myself, I was like, yo, it's hard for an NBA player to average 20 and 10. Respect Julius Randle, because it's hard for a guy to get 20 and 10 in the NBA, right? And so in previous years, we had like the Carmelos, the Pat Ewings, the Allen Houstons, the Latrell Sprewells. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that, the Bernard Kings, where you know you have a superstar and you felt like anything short of the playoffs was a disappointment. This year, anything short of the playoffs is a disappointment in the other means where we got something unexpected. It's like G Money. You ever just got a random check in the mail from somebody? You know what I'm saying? You just got a random check just show up, and it don't have to be much. You be like, oh, okay. such and such said I overpaid for such and such amount of time, so they sent me a check for $800, right? And while $800 ain't gonna save the day or save your future, so depending on where you live, it may or may not. But whatever. My point is, the $800 that you got the check in the mail, the unexpected gift, you're like, yo, this is something nice. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I like in this season too. Because at the beginning of the season, people were like, man, y'all ain't gonna win that but 22 games. And y'all better be glad. Y'all better be glad. Y'all better hope y'all get to 22. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, I don't quite see it that way. You know what I'm saying? I see it in a different light. I see it in a more positive light. And so they like, nah, man, the Knicks gonna be trash. Get ready. And we come out the box and we started pressing people. So it's like when you overpaid your light bill, they send you a letter. Do you want to credit it or do you want to check? You know what I'm saying? You're like, whoa, okay. It's like with your escrow at the end of the year. You're looking at your thing, they send you a check. You like $1,400. Something must have went to taxes and insurance went down or something. You know what I'm saying? They sent me a check for $1,400. I can do something with this. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Mocha will probably, in my case, she'll let me go to the car auction and buy me a little lemon or something that I can go out in the yard and work on. You know what I'm saying? But still, that's just that's quite unexpected and nice. And that's why I think we are right now.
We definitely in a good place, man.
I look at Julius Randle, man, right? And I like using movie scenarios. And Julius is like my Lionheart. We threw everything at him last year. Everything. No matter what. Even when he played good and we lost, we still blame Julius. You know what I'm saying? We threw everything at him last year.
Right.
But he was on that floor at that big fight. And when my man laid down over there at Van Damme, he said, yo, I put the money on him. I'm going to split 50-50. Stay there. The whole bet is on our killer.
Right.
And Julius looked up at everybody in New York and said, wrong bet. Stop this year, man. See, Julius is the reason why everybody is thinking that Obi might be the bad pick. Obi wasn't a bad pick. It's just that Julius became this monster. What'll make Obi a bad pick if during this offseason he don't go work on his craft and become able to do other things on the court, like small forward stuff. You know what I'm saying? He got to change his game, especially while Julius is doing what he's doing. But I love what Julius has become, man. He's on his backpack. You know what I'm saying? He got that Fendi Monster bag on, you know what I'm saying? He carrying us where he wants us to go, you know what I'm saying? And you got to love and respect it. And we doing it from the inside out. We ain't doing it from the outside in, you know what I'm saying? We got Leon Rose. That's the Don King of the dice game. We got Worldwide West. That's the P. Diddy at the line party. And we brought Tom Thibodeau in. That's the White Shadow. And Julius got to be cool. We rocking like Carver High right now. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta love it. You gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to start telling RJ something different about his game. I'm gonna do another movie scenario. That's my 8 Mile. That's my M&M. So before he went into that battle, he already knew what you was going to say. So that's why he spit something at you to let you know I already know what you're going to say. Tell me something.
Tell me something I don't know. I love.
Absolutely. And I want to jump in on Jay Boogie's point a little bit about Julius and Obi. And I'm going to say this for Obi. Obi, he's a young guy. You know what I mean? His future is ahead of him. Although people want to point out his age as if 23 is old, because we've gotten to a point where we draft guys who are one and done, 19, 20 years old, and we believe because they're young that it will prosper. There's a lot of general managers that draft these young guys that don't see them come to fruition.
Right.
Because you can't necessarily bet on a guy who's 18, 19, 20 years old and think I have the time to watch this particular flower grow. It's not gonna work. But I will say this about Obi. You bought a house in New York, put it up for sale. Sale. Because your future here is not guaranteed with Julius Randle. Julius Randle did a 720. He didn't do a 360. He did a 720. How often do you see a man literally change his game in every aspect of his game in one off season? It's a rarity. And I was somebody, if you've seen me in chats and stuff like that, I used to kick his back in. I wanted him here originally because I remember watching him in the Lakers, and I thought he reminded me a lot of Charles Oakley with a more offensive game, but he was rough.
Right.
Very rough. All right. And the last couple of years, his game has grown. And last year, it might have been too much for him because he was doing too much. I was calling him the human bowling ball. He'd do that spin. He'd do that Eddie Curry spin move, knock over 2-3 people, get an offensive foul, offensive be out of control. The coach didn't know how to ream him back in.
Oh man, that's a good one.
He was too slow. Everything just seemed disjointed, and the team just went. What, they won their first game or something like that, and then it tailed off after the first game. But just one step at a time, and make the right move.
But Anthony, what you said, man. But Julius, man, what I think it was last year, and I think everybody could pretty much agree. Last year, Julius was our best player. Everybody knew that Julius was our best player except for Julius.
Right.
The minute Julius signed with us, he was our best player. But he felt like he had to come out and prove that he was our best player. Nah, dog, you're the best player. Make everybody else around you better. You know what I mean? Past that thing, you can get your shot. And I think that's the biggest thing that have changed. Like, he realized, hey, ain't nobody in the league can stop me from getting my shot. Nobody.
Right.
That boy can score on anybody, man. Let me change my other facets of my game. Let me get other people involved. And to your point of what you said about Obi, because J Boogie, you remember we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I said eventually the New York Knicks, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but eventually they're gonna have to make a decision between Julius Randle,
absolutely,
and Obi, because Julius Randle, the way Julius is playing and being the leader of this team, the all-star, it's gonna come to a point where they're gonna have to make a decision on Obi.
Yep.
And Julius, who do we move forward with?
I'm gonna tell you this. So I got two things. I'm gonna just say this real quick. Right. The first thing is, man, it's so hard to find a superstar that embraces the franchise and their city that is almost criminal.
Mm-hmm. Right? Hold on. I'm gonna do a man real quick. Hey, say that again, man. Say that again.
Right. Right. Look, I'm gonna rewind it and play it back. Right. It's so hard to find a superstar, right, that embraces their franchise and embraces the city that it's criminal. And right now, in Julius Randle, we have a superstar that embraces the city, and the city is slowly embracing him back, right? And performs at a high level on the court and embraces the team. And when I say team, I'm talking about the players, the coaches, the staff, everybody. Julius Randle is a different person, right? And so this is the thing I want to say just real quick, and I promise I'll get out of the way. So when I was a young fella, I met this lady named Mocha, right? I was a young fella, but I like to do stuff. I like to be out in the streets. I like to be in a pool hall. You put a pool stick in my hand, I'm taking light bill money, right? That's what I tell everybody. I'm taking light bill money on that pool table, right? And cats knew me for like, they're like, oh man, Uncle Freezie in here. Let's go over there and shoot. You know what I'm saying? and so what happened was I asked Miss Mocha what she was doing for the rest of her life. She was like, I ain't doing nothing. I just want to be with you. I was like, well, let's spend the rest of our life together. So we hitch up or whatever. Right. But I was still that guy that wanted to kind of get on that pool table, hang out and drink them Bud Lights and hang out with the boys. but I had a little family at home. So Miss Mocha would say stuff like, "Hey, listen, go out, hang out for a little bit, but remember you have a home." You know what I'm saying? And so I'll be like, "Hey, listen, they just want me to come. I'm just gonna hang out for like 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna come on to the house." And 30 minutes would turn into 3 hours, and then my joint would be ringing. I'd be getting, I'm like, "Oh man, that's how I done messed up, fellas. Let me get out of here." And the boys would be like, "Oh man, you henpecked. You gonna let the missus tell you when you hang out and when not to, and blah blah blah." And so what I learned from that is some things are important and some things ain't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like Julius Randle, I matured. I realized that the lady at home and those little kids walking around with them saggy diapers on was more important than me going out and hanging out with the boys, right? So I stopped hanging out with the boys completely, right? I'm like, "No, fellas, I got to go hang out with Miss Mocha and them babies that's crawling around the floor." And when I walk in the door, and I know y'all heard this before, like I walk in the door and the little babies would be like, "Hey, daddy home." And they'd be jumping in my arm, you know what I'm saying? They'd be hugging my neck and they talking about, "Daddy, I drew you this picture at school today." And you know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff, right? And so Julius Randle is going through the same thing with this young Knicks roster. Those young Knicks wanted him to be the leader all along.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a leader, right? And at first, Julius didn't embrace it because he was like, "Yo, I got to make the All-Star team. I got to make the All-Star team." Nah, man, you can make the All-Star team and be a leader too. If you be a leader first, the other stuff will follow, right? So he embraced that, became a leader, improved his game, stepped out on the floor, stopped doing the selfish stuff, and start sharing with others, right? And so what happens is now you see my man in that leadership role and making All-Star team, and you see the young fellas like the Theo Pensons. He the same age as Julius almost, right? He like, "Yo, Julius Randle is our fearless leader, and we follow him," right? For a leader to have people gather themselves and follow you in the battle every night. You know what I'm saying? They gonna give you their very best when they step on the floor with Julius Randle. That's what you need from a leader, right? And to say, and I'm not disparaging Ron's point, right? I'm actually co-signing what he's saying. At some point, the Knicks have to realize they have what they've been looking for all along, right here on the roster in Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to pay that man. That man has done all the things you wanted him to do. He went through that bad, turbulent season when y'all fired the coach and the front office was a disaster and all that stuff. And he still gave you 20 and 10. And he came back this year better than he was the prior year, right? And so what's going to happen is they're going to say, "Well, what do we do with Obi?" Hey, man, listen. For those that want to see Obi, how about before we say, what are we going to do with Julius Obi? How about we let Julius Randle get better from season to season
Exactly.
and lead these guys that want to follow him. They are galvanized behind Julius Randle. Even Obi Toppin himself, who said Julius Randle was like a big brother to him from day one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They are galvanized behind Julius Randle, man. You know
I
what I'm
tell you
saying?
this, Freezie. I hope Obi can take over that 3 spot. That's my vision. Because I'm sick of seeing our players that we draft go someplace else, man.
Right.
And I think the kid is going to be a good ball player, man. I really do. He has the make it one, like Jay Boogie said. When you got will to it, you got heart. You know what I mean? Along with skill, because he got some skills.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just Julius Randle's rocket took off in a year that nobody expected this except for maybe a few people. The only person I know that comes to my mind is Ralph. He's about the only person that expected this. And I'll say this about Julius Randle, and then I'm going to pass it to somebody else. Julius Randle feels like he was drafted by the Knicks to me.
Yes.
Whoa.
Wow.
Say that again, Ron. Say that again.
Julius Randle feels like he been drafted by the Knicks to me, man. A lot of times,
Man.
a lot
I
of
mean, he's
times,
got a good point.
a lot of time players come to this team. They try to figure out who they are when they get here, who they're gonna be.
Right.
And Julius, the way Julius has embraced the Freezie point, embraced everything about the whole fabric about what it is to be a Knick. It just really feels like he was drafted by the Knicks. Like, you know what I equate it to? Boogie, and I'm going back there, man. Freezie, Anthony D, you guys, you know about this. It gives me the feel, and my skin is crawling for me even thinking about this when I say it. It gives me the feel of Latrell Sprewell coming to the New York Knicks.
What?
Remember when we got Sprewell? Remember how it felt when we got Sprewell? It felt like Sprewell got drafted by the Knicks. On how seamlessly he fit what the New York Knicks was all about.
Right.
And you got Julius Randle with that same come in with that same mode this year. It's like it's crazy to me. I feel like I'm in a dream, man. Don't wake me up, man. Don't wake me up,
man.
Hey, can I say something to that? So imagine if we had Tibbs last year instead of Fizz.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Look how these no practice, no training camp, none of that, right? Look how these guys are playing.
Say that again. They ain't heard that part. Say that again.
Right. No training camp, no practice, right?
No summer league.
No summer league. And look how these players are playing. And I think last year was a waste. Look at RJ and everything else. Imagine if we had him last year.
And look at Randall. He's been balling this season. He was balling in the first half.
And Randall's showing some leadership this year. And Randall
exactly, G-Money.
Randall's putting the ball more on the floor and he's playing more confident. That's what I want to see from Randall. He's been more consistent this season compared to where he was earlier in the past season. So that's what I want. That's what I'm enjoying from Randall.
And players are galvanized behind him too. Players are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
My bad. I apologize. Go ahead, Freezie.
No. I was just reiterating something. I was just saying the players are galvanized behind Randall, and the coaching staff believes in Julius Randall because he earned their trust. Right? They didn't in the beginning, and rightfully so. Because if you go based off of what you see on film before you know a guy, you know what I'm saying? And once you go on reputation, you can't help but have certain biases in place. You know what I'm saying? People that have lived long enough and have experiences, what they'll do is we'll have certain biases. And it's not a mean detrimental thing. It's a self-preservation thing. We just have certain biases, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that we have ill intent, but survival mode, you know what I'm saying, puts us in a place where, those biases are just built in. Because how many forwards have we signed over the years, you know what I'm saying, that come here and we think they're going to be something, Michael Beasley, Derek Williams, Quincy Acey, that we think are going to be something and they turn out to not be anything. You know what I'm saying? And then we get a Julius Randle, and it winds up he's a perfect fit for us. He was a perfect
5.5.
Right, because he was a perfect fit in the wrong situation with the Lakers. Right, he was a perfect fit in the wrong situation.
If Freezie, say that again.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was the perfect fit in the wrong situation with the Lakers, and he was a perfect fit in the wrong situation with the Pelicans. But he comes here, he's a perfect fit in the right situation here with the Knicks, right? And how we know this is the production on the floor and the leadership off the floor and the reputation of the franchise. All of these things going in the right direction points to him being a perfect fit for us. Now, do we trade this perfect fit in the right situation for whatever so that Obi Toppin can play?
No way.
We don't know what Obi Toppin is right now. The best thing for us to do is like Grandma Garden, keep tending to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in due time, it'll be right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Obi will, you know what I'm saying, will be right. He'll be useful to us. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to rush it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Like gumbo.
Yeah, let him grow. We don't have to rush Obi. Obi is coming along at his pace,
Mm-hmm.
right? Eventually he'll get there. It's like anybody in here have kids. Like when you have kids, your son at some it's and not all the time, but I had a situation where my son was older than my daughter, but my daughter was taller than him, and it bothered him every day. Like he would legit go to the wall and mark, like pops. You see, I grew, and I'm like, yeah, baby, I see where you grew. But the growth is not about your height. It's about what's in your heart. Are you
Mm-hmm.
growing in there? And he like, yeah, I can feel it. And I'm like, yo, that's all that's important, right? That's all that's important, right? Just putting them seeds in that young fella. You know what I'm saying? He a great young man now, right? He a great young people gravitate, young men his age gravitate towards him. You're like, man, you talk like you got an old man spirit. And that do me proud, right? Because older guys, old men used to put me to the side and drop gems on me. I dropped it on him. He dropped them on somebody else. That's the thing with gems. The thing about gems is not about how many you can keep, right? Because at some point, and I want to say this to Anthony D, right? So Anthony D made a point about the Celtics, as he said about all their draft picks and all that stuff. So there's a difference between being a saver and a hoarder,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a difference between being a saver and a hoarder, right? The Celtics legit went over the edge from being savers to hoarders because they had the opportunity to take all that stuff that cachet, that them assets they had saved up, and exchange it for something, but they didn't.
Front office malpractice.
Yes, exactly. And now, instead of the harvest that they hoarded being useful, it's starting to rot. It don't have the same value as it did when you were a saver. Now that you're a hoarder, those things are diminished because you held them for too long, right? So anyway, what I'm saying in a Knicks way, and maybe to help a young person out there or anybody out there, like the gems that you get from other people, they not meant for you to cherish. They meant for you to hold on for a little bit, learn from it, and pass along to somebody else.
That's right.
Well said, man.
skill set.
And gentlemen, I'm gonna have to get going, man. And I had my workout and I had my morning tea. Freezie is back.
God
Hey,
bless you, Uncle.
Yeah, man. Hey, Uncle Chop. Hey, we want that breakfast plate, man. We want it. You know what
And
I mean?
not for
Hey,
nothing, not for nothing. You didn't tell Freezie. You messaged me like Freezie coming back. Go. He sent me to the store. We got shrimp and grits. We got chicken and waffles. We got Kalalua provisions. Chat, come and eat. And then Chris Chang said it. Listen, I'm gonna go pick up that deer meat for tonight.
Yeah, go and pick that up.
Jay Boogie said, "Hey, go get that deer meat, bro."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but hey, again, man. Hey, everybody, make sure y'all subscribe to my man channel, man. Support the movement, man. This thing is a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah,
You ain't
man.
coming no place else in the morning and getting on Knicks talk, man.
Right.
It shouldn't even be a question about hitting them thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing for that.
It
Soon as
don't
you hit the
cost
room,
you
you know
nothing.
what you're gonna get. Hit that button, man. It's just on GP. The fact that this man giving you that Knicks talk, hit that button immediately. Because it's gonna be what you need, what you want. Some of it may not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. So hey, let's just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy what Uncle Freezie is doing and what everybody else is doing in this thing, man. Because at the end of the day, it's us, and I don't care about no other team. I can care less about them. They can rot just like them groceries that Freezie talking about, them draft picks and people hold on too long. Let them rot.
Right.
I'm out.
Hey, man. Hey, peace, bro.
Salute,
I was gonna ask Ron if he's gonna be on later, but I'm sure he is since it's game night. Make sure y'all go check out Ron Cleveland, man. It's the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? They be having like 200 people on there. Ray, hey, my man is doing his thing, and it's pure entertainment too. My man have his people on, and they legit are having fun, right? And I know sometimes nowadays we get this thing like, man, all that from man. Sometimes you gotta take a deep breath and just have some fun with some stuff. I'm not saying be immature. I'm saying sometimes you gotta enjoy the moment, man. Like I legit earlier, I had Anthony D and Jay Boogie on at the same time, and y'all don't know what that mean to me. And I keep telling y'all, Y'all don't know what that mean to me. And I keep telling you, I'm like, yo, Anthony D and J Boogie at the same time. What kind of day is this? This make my day right here.
It's
and
a Freezie day.
Yeah. And listen, this ain't cap. I ain't making this up. I be like, yo, when J Boogie come on, I be like, yo, my man here. And then Anthony D will show up. I'm like, yo, my man here. But they have it at the same time. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, what can be better? This is dope. This is fire right here.
You know real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? And real gonna always want to be around real. And just elaborate on what man said. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. And also, the ones that are subscribed, and when you hear that bell go off, pay attention to it. Go do something with it. Don't just let the bell go off and you don't go hit a like button or hit a chat. You ain't got to come on the show, but do one of those three things. Hit the like button, or send a chat, or just come on or something. Just show support and love for everybody that's doing anything. Because you know what I'm saying? We doing it from the heart, man. We doing it to give it to y'all the real way, not the live vision way. You know what I'm saying? The real way. You know what I'm saying? And just elaborate on what Chop said, you know, earlier, we doing it from the inside out. The core has got to be right. And when you said last year, we wish we'd have had them here last year, you know what I'm saying? Well, we got the coaching staff and everything, you know, what we had last year, they brought in from the outside in for the wrong reasons. They brought Fizdale in to recruit. He was supposed to recruit, bring stars, and bring other people with him. He wasn't here to be the coach, you know what I'm saying? But right now, we got the staff right, we got the coaching right, the bench right, you know what I'm saying? The players is coming along right, you know what I'm saying? So we doing it from the inside out, not from the outside in. And that's what's making core that much tighter. A lot of people think you jump with the calves and your hamstring. No, you jump, your vertical come from your core, your midsection. That's got to be strong. If that's not strong, nothing else is going to take off for you. You know what I'm saying? So we doing it right from the inside to the outside. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta love it. You gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of the net weight. Just remind me a little bit of the net weight when, you know what I'm saying, 2 years ago when they had them guys and they was playing hard, you know what I'm saying, and they still made it to the playoff. That was the difference, you know what I'm saying, between Kyrie and Kevin Durant going over there. They looked at, okay, the offense was right and the players are playing right. Then we wasn't offense right and we won't play it right. But right now, we're offense right and play it right. And our time gonna come and people gonna want to come. But the thing is, what we got here right now, gonna continue to play hard and keep playing for the organization, keep playing for the city, keep playing for the fans, you know what I'm saying? Representing that Nick on their back, you know what I'm saying? And doing it the right way, you know what I'm saying? You gotta love it, and you gotta appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? And this is our time, man. Just be patient and work with what we got going. We got the right people, they know what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? Only thing I want is for Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau to be on the same page. What's really gonna make it is when you go in that draft or when you go to trade for a person, you got to draft and trade the right person and trade for the right person that fits Tom's system. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna make it work. You can't have a person come be drafted into Tom's system and that's not his caliber style of a player. You know what I'm saying? He likes the rough, rugged, bruised, hard, go get it type player. You can't bring the pretty boy, you know what I'm saying, that want to be, nah, that's just a big name. Nah, we need the rough and rugged people that want to jump on top of this boat, you know what I'm saying, and go fishing out there in the mission of the middle of the ocean and get them bass and bring them in, you know what I'm saying, so we can give them the chop, so we can chop up, you know what I'm saying, that fish plate and everything, get everybody hungry, get that core right. That's the most important thing, man. But you know, get them like buttons up, hit them chats, you know what I'm saying, big up to the show, hit them cash apps, whatever you do, it's not meaningful, but you know what I'm saying, if you feel it in your heart, you appreciate it, you gotta love and respect and, you know what I'm saying, appreciate the right doings, you know what I'm saying. That man right there, Freezie, don't do it for himself, you know what I'm saying, he could be doing other things. What man you know that's gonna get up early in the morning and then while y'all go to lunch and eat, he take a little nap sleep and get prepared to come back on at a late hour, you know what I'm saying? They're giving you 2 out of 3. He giving you breakfast and he giving you dinner. He letting us have the lunch, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta love and appreciate that man, you know what I'm saying? Freezie, man, I gotta love it, man. I appreciate it. That's why I come on in and I do what I do for you, man. I go hard just for you. A whole lot of the Freezie show, the Legion show, the Nick Fan TV, the Nick of Time, the Man show, Quincy, the champ. Every time I go on his show, I ain't seen that belt on the back of his wall, but he's the champ, you know what I'm saying? All the shows, you know what I'm saying, that be doing what they doing, and all the dudes that ain't got shows, you know what I'm saying, that keep doing what they doing, we doing it for the love and for the heart, man, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's what make you stand out, you know what I'm saying? Why you think Anthony's still standing out, man? For the love and the heart, man. People appreciate and respect what he did in the past, what he doing now, what he's doing for the future, you know what I'm saying? He bringing along other people. You don't just get the knowledge and hold it, you know, pass it on, you know what I'm saying? Right. You sharpen up skills, you know what I'm saying? And just elaborate the G Money. When you was telling him something, yo, I ain't cutting you up. Nah, he's sharpening up your skill. Every man sharpens the next man's skill so you can come back out and have another skill sharpened up for you to sharpen another man's skill. You know what I'm saying? It's knowledge, man. It's a knowledge of self. You need that, man. I love everything you're doing, man. But yo, I gotta go do an estimate. I'm a mover. I just got off that road. I just drove from 9 o'clock Monday night all the way to Auburn, New York. What? And loaded 6,000 pounds, and I was back at 9:45 yesterday morning, and I had got some rest. My phone buzzing right now. I gotta go, you know what I'm saying, do some estimates. I'm a mover, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got my own business. I came home. I'm proud. I just got off my federal papers Monday, you know what I'm saying? Doing everything the right way, man, because it's somebody that's locked up that they want to let out just because of me, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta be a leader and do the right thing because I'm just like them. And if I do the right thing, then they know somebody else in there can come home and do the right thing. You don't come home and go get a package and all that, do that all over again. That's not like it's played out, man. You gotta do something, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna set a tone, set an example. So when it's my time to go to heaven, I want people to be able to say, yo, that man changed his life, he did the right thing. I appreciate what he did. What you gonna leave from behind yourself in life when you move on, you know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta live for today. What I'm gonna be appreciated about when the next day when I'm gone, man. I live for when I'm gone, not for when I'm here, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody to love us, respect, appreciate my things, you know what I'm saying? That's why I go hard every day, no matter what it is, man. We got to enlighten the young ones, enlighten the ones that need to be led, you know what I'm saying? And Freezie said, he said leaders, not veterans. There's a difference between a veteran and a leader. A veteran just want to get paid. A leader want to take you somewhere and bring you along. And that's what Julius is doing. He's showing that leadership, and he's bringing everybody else along and follow suit, man. I love y'all, man. And I'll be back on, you know what I'm saying, either in the chat or in the Cash app, something, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to do something for you later on today, man. God bless you all, man. AD, man, the real AD, man. You know what I'm saying? The one and only AD, you know what I'm saying? Not go switch up, you know what I'm saying? From team to team, you know, chasing the ring. That man already got a belt, you know what I'm saying? Man, yeah. And chop low, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love you, man. With the red, black lumberjack, with the hat, man. The heart. I see you got it on.
Right, the NYC representative.
Yeah. J. Boogie, peace out, family.
Yeah, man.
Hey, yo, you know what's so funny too? Let me say this, and I'm gonna go because not go, but I'm gonna The funny thing is, and CT always say it, he be on Raw show, the streets are buzzing, right? You know why? Because I saw the draft, LeBron, and, well, KD said it first. He said, man, I'm going to pick this guy because he's balling crazy. Pick Randall. And LeBron was like, yeah, Knicks looking good. The streets are buzzing.
Right. And that means something. That means something. And so the thing about it is this. Your reputation is not what people tell you to say or what you tell people to say about yourself. Your reputation is what people say about you when there's no stakes on the line, right? Your reputation is not what you want tell people to say about you. Your reputation is what people say about you when there are no stakes, right?
Facts.
Like when people when there is no stake in the game, right? And what people just say about you, that's your reputation. And so what you want to do is make sure that your reputation is one that you are willing to live with, right? And so while you can't control a lot of stuff, your reputation is something that you can kind of control in a way by the actions and the way that you treat people. You know what I'm saying? If you want your reputation to be positive, do positive stuff for people, and they'll say good things about you mostly. You know, and if you do bad things to people, then your reputation will be that you do things to people or whatever. So Julius Randle was one that he was selfish, and he turned it around into being a good guy, leader, mature guy that had galvanized a roster and that people want to follow. Because leadership is that thing where, and I've said this to a cat named Savvy D one time, right? He was like, the young people's beef with the older generation is when a young person have an idea, the older crowd don't want to listen to the idea. They don't want to follow that young person. I was like, nah, dog. And Savvy D will admit to this conversation if he sees us. It's not that. A leader is not one that jumps in front and pull people along, right? A leader is a part of the crowd that is pushed to the forefront, right? The crowd pushes that person to the forefront, and they get galvanized and want to follow that person because he's a representative of the group. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're in front of people doesn't make you a leader. It just means you're in front of people. You know what I'm saying? So Julius Randle recommitted himself to the team. Like, hey, listen, I'm a part of the guys. I'm one of the 15 or one of the 17 or however, whatever the roster thing is, right? He's like, I'm one of the 15, right? And I'm gonna prove to y'all that I'm just as valuable to this team as y'all are. And what they did was they saw Julius Randle do it on numerous occasions. He walked it, he talked it, he modeled it. And then they pushed him to the front. They were like, hey, you are our leader, right? You are our leader. Go out there and lead us. And what we'll do is support you. We'll support leadership, right? And so that's the thing that I think gets caught up in the wash is not that Julius Randle is shooting 39% from three. It's the fact that he worked on his game tirelessly and earned the respect of the people that he goes to battle with, and they pushed him out front. They wanted him to be the leader. You know what I'm saying? That's what has happened. He earned their respect, and they pushed him out front. Right?
But
Freezie, I want to jump in a little bit about.
That being said, the
what-
intro song, he said that, right? In that line, leaders better kings, soldiers make us better. What that in the intro song? Sorry, AD.
Yeah. So what Dan Johnson was talking about in that line that you mentioned is that basically to summarize this, is he started out as a pawn, went to battle a lot, learned a lot of lessons, and as he continued to get knocked down and get back up, he learned lessons along the way. And when he looked up at himself, he was a different piece on the chessboard. He was no longer a pawn. He graduated to other things by learning valuable life lessons and continuing to when you get, because there's nothing wrong with getting knocked down if your next step is getting back up. Right? That's what he was getting at in that shot. I'm sorry, Anthony, that we kind of had a little.
Yeah, sorry, AD.
Nah, we good, family. But I wanted to jump in a little bit on what Chop Low was saying as far as the Knicks buzzing in the streets. Look at Brooklyn here for a second. Brooklyn has 3 of the top 10 to 12 ball players on their team, and they're still adding. They have 0 buzz out here in the New York tri-state area. As an organization, they have to be worried. Because why? The way we're playing, for potential individuals who may be thinking about the Knicks or coming to New York, they have to be looking at it like, why am I going to Brooklyn?
Right.
The real show is uptown. Why am I going to Brooklyn? You guys are barely over 500,
right,
and you have 3 future first ballot Hall of Famers, and they have 0 buzz.
Right.
They're like going to be the little brother for the rest of your life.
Right.
Short of winning a championship or winning a couple of championships, they're probably always gonna be the little brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the road is rocky. It should be rocky, but it's a beautiful thing, and we can be beautiful at the end of the road as long as management continues to build and build correctly. And I want to give a little story about Ewing, because I always think about those old teams. Once we got a new management, Checketts, then Checketts brought on Grunfeld, then they hired Riley, and they had to convince Ewing not to leave, because remember that in 1991, when Riley came on board, Ewing was an unrestricted free agent, and his bags was packed.
Yep. And
Riley met with him, and Ewing told him, how is it going to be different than the other 5 coaches that's been here, and I've only been here 5-6 years? Right. And he told him, all I have is, I'm going to give you all I have is my experience and how to build. And every piece that they got from that moment, outside of Oakley, who was already there, and Mark Jackson for a short spell, they got pieces that complemented Ewing's personality. They got Rough Riders. You have to keep building pieces that complement Julius.
Right.
Complement what Tom Thibodeau wants to do, which is rough, nose, hard, defensive, smart, efficient type of basketball.
Right.
And be consistent with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Freezie, I got to roll. I'll come back on later on tonight if you're going to be on. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming back on, because I was starting to get that. I was starting to get that crackhead itch. I was starting to get pain. You know what I mean?
Hey, Chop been texting me all week, right? And I was like, I told everybody that I was gonna follow the Knicks schedule, right? And so about 2 days in, I'm like, oh man, I should jump on right now. And I was like, no, you got to be up when you tell somebody you're gonna do something, you do it.
I thought my alerts wasn't working. I'm like, where the heck is Freezie? Like, what's going on? And this morning when I got the alert to my email, I'm like, well, all right, that's what it is. We on with Freezie today.
That's no what doubt. It is.
But gentlemen, go ahead, sir.
So Anthony, let me say this real quick. So me and Sid Mears are doing this joint on a lifestyle channel, right? Where we talk about other stuff. Like, it's not just Knicks. It's about culture, lifestyle, belief systems, gems. We tell stories, we try to give people advice and things like that. So while we was doing it, I was like, yo. And so while Sid Mears was talking, and I wasn't drifting, I was like, yo, you know who would be perfect for this, man? If we can get to come on maybe like once a month or whenever we do it, we need to get Anthony D, right? Because some of the stuff that we're saying, because legit, chat, hear me out. When Anthony D talks, he makes me think. And at first I was like, what is going? I didn't understand what was happening at the time. Right, because a lot of times people say something and it's something I already heard. Like they'd be like, "Hey, Uncle Freezie, first time caller, long time listener. Just wanted to say, Alfred Payton can't shoot." And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I already heard that before. You know what I'm saying? But then with Anthony D say stuff, it's like not just a point that's obvious, but then it's layers to it. It's like he is legit thinking, processing stuff in real time, and is patient. So when he says something, it has levity or gravity to it, right? So I was like, yo, you know what? We need to get Anthony D on this joint here. So anyway, what I'm saying is if you have time, man, whenever we can schedule another, I want to have you come on, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Freezie, no doubt.
Drop the link for him for that channel, yeah.
Hey, so Anthony D, you on Twitter, right? Are you on Twitter?
No, sir. But drop the link. I mean, there's no problem. I'll come on whenever you guys need it. Freezie, I look at you guys like family. know what I'm saying? You've made me feel comfortable coming on. I remember the first time I came on, I was like, Freezie, I ain't coming back on.
Yeah, you said that. I was like, oh man,
not coming back on. But I've had a blast, sparring and talking, with Knicks family and so forth. And no doubt, whenever you want me to come on, no doubt, just throw it out there and I'll absolutely come on. No problem at all.
Okay.
I'll put my email address in the chat so you can just throw it. You can just throw it in. No problem.
In the private chat. Do it in the private chat.
Yeah, the private. Yeah.
Chat.
Okay. Hey,
all
so
right, gentlemen.
I'm gonna wrap up too, man, because I've been up all night. Got some production work, some editing to do. Take a brief nap, like 2 hours. Jump back up, go to work, and get ready for the Knicks at Night podcast at 11:45. Y'all know how the schedule go. Y'all know how it goes. So thanks to everybody in the virtual chat, the video chat. I appreciate y'all coming, hanging out. We're gonna say la vie and peace to everybody. Y'all have a peaceful day. Anthony D, I'm looking.
Anthony, we love you.
Oh, I got you.
Chaplo, my brother. It's a pleasure being on with you, family. You already know what it is, Knicks family for life.
You're ready. And listen, can you tell Uncle Freezie to drop that intro because I missed it earlier?
Oh, Chaplo, you can tell me.
Oh, going out when we go out, drop that intro.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris Chang, leave me alone. I'm gonna say sorry, Chris Chang. I'm sorry.
Hey, so I'm gonna do
salute
that.
The chat.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now, man. So that we can get out of here. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna end it right here. Y'all be peaceful, man.